Shad. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Greetings, chat. Hello. My headset ruined. There we go. I pulled a piece of my fucking hair. Civil War? No, I think you're more likely to have a quiet revolution than a civil war. I mean, there's not enough of those people. No, it's tyranny. It's tyranny is what it is. Minneapolis is going fucking hard tonight. I'm feeling quite Italian today, a bit French. This is happening. I mean, this is just, look how fucking deep this goes. Mobilized in hours. I would be delighted even, if the cucks that support this kind of thing would like to sit here and argue that they are in fact an American patriot who loves the Constitution and who loves the Second Amendment. Would love that. If you are a Republican and you love the Second Amendment, you should think that the mom in that fucking car should have been able to shoot back. Look, man. When the revolution against the British started, it was this kind of shit. It was exactly this kind of shit. It was the fucking British government killing citizens in the street for opposing their undue rule over them. That's exactly what it was. This is even more egregious and more well-founded. Because at least, In the American Revolution, what you have is a bunch of fucking aristocrats saying, we don't want the king or the church to be in power, we want to be in power, rather than the actual people. Otherwise, they would have written that down and not framed it in a way to make white landowning men like them and stay in charge and allow for chattel slavery. Now we just have neighbors standing up for their fucking neighbors. Like, this lady was literally defending her community from the government. She is a patriot in every way. Like, if you disagree with that, you just have lost your fucking way on what you thought this was. Like, anytime you've ever thought that you were, like, a patriot or any kind of, like...
I hope you have a fantastic day.
You know, a miracle ever. And I know leftists in general are disillusioned by the idea. But as we're brought up, you know, liberals and Republicans alike support nominally the Constitution, but none of the fucking words it says. Supporting or feeding. Thanks for the 7 months. Yeah, your right-wing mom defended ICE agent instantly, completely gone. Well, sad to say, your mom's a cuck and a serf and wishes to be dominated by men who wield violence over her. And I think, you know, it's okay if you're like, okay, mom, fucking have a good life then. There's no reason for you to be able to have the family you think you deserve. Throating the boot? Oh my god. Sorry. Your mom's a throat goat like never seen. Among many others. For boot specifically. I need Redditors to lock in and have his name posted tomorrow. Fucking true. Yeah. Bro. Reddit will find him. Other people will find him in general. I mean, this is the kind of thing that in the past, he'd already be fucking taken care of by the community that it was around him. But, of course, in the modern age, they have so many fucking ways. I mean, there's just no two ways about it. I mean, you cannot pretend that you're a fucking, like, patriot. You can't pretend that you love America. You can't pretend you love fucking freedom or the First Amendment, for fuck's sake, or the Second. You cannot. If you accept this, you should be fucking in the streets. You should be... like, standing side by side with the neighbors that are saying that this is bullshit. Imagine thinking that because someone works for the government, they can just kill you if they feel like it. The fuck? Even if you steel man their argument, even if you steel man it to the highest degree, reckless driving is not a capital crime. And she didn't get a fucking court date. She didn't get anything. ICE doesn't have the ability or the jurisdiction to enforce traffic law because they're rent-a-cops. They're Gestapo. It will be soon. It will happen soon. People are going to start arming themselves because of this. It's not a joke. You are going to see dead ICE officers because of this. You can't just fucking let them go around with impunity. Otherwise, they're just treated like a gang. Like, what do you do when there's a fucking gang around of fucking thugs, white fucking thugs, murdering moms? They're gonna fucking arm themselves. You're gonna start... I mean, it's actually gonna get bad if they do not put this guy out to pasture like he deserves. if there are consequences for his actions and there's oversight on the process, and all ICE ever is like, hey man, you're a narco-terrorist, get out of here, and they actually are a narco-terrorist and have to get out of here, there would be, that's just like fucking NBC propaganda show. No problem with that whatsoever. You're Sicario ass. Hopefully not Sicario. They're not the good guys. Instead, you have fucking high school dropouts who couldn't fucking pass the standards for any of the other law enforcement agencies. Just a bunch of Nazis joining up. Most of these guys have... There's a guy literally had an SS tattoo on the back of his fucking temple or behind his ear. Literally an ICE officer yesterday. Maybe this morning. Trump's response was fucking disgusting. I mean, of course, Trump's response was disgusting. Of course it was. Because he's a fascist. He loves this shit. In fact, what he loves about this is that the news is off him and off Epstein. Because right now it's about this mom was fucking shot in the face by a Nazi that works for the government on behalf of the government, and the government supports it. Which means the government is a tyrant right now. Which means the Second Amendment is... The whole point of why they have that was for tyranny. They're going to tell you, actually, no, it's for your neighbors. The Second Amendment was never intended to be used on your fucking neighbors. I mean, it's just like indefensible. You have to be a worm to try to defend it, and then you just can't defend it and also say that you are the conservative you think you are. You can only defend it when you realize, oh yeah, I'm a fascist. Yeah, that's got to be it. Dave could get hired by ICE. Don't give him any ideas. Although he probably would get his ass killed immediately. That should be hilarious. But don't give him any ideas. It literally does. The Second Amendment. Yes, it literally does. It was put into place to say, hey, look, Americans, this is your right. Don't let the British government or any government tell you what the fuck to do. You know, outside of the existent social order, which is, of course, right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And obviously her life and liberty, and therefore her pursuit of happiness, were fucking destroyed by this fucking idiot. This barbaric fucking meatball. It wasn't just over T-Tax. There was massacres. It wasn't just over that. The T-Tax was the last thing. Like the Boston Tea Party. It was just like a tipping point that made it very popular for the revolutionary founding fathers that were trying to, I mean, they were, man, a group of aristocrats who owned most of the American colonies, especially the northern ones, but not all, even the southern ones. They wanted to have more control over the resources of the colonies than the British, and so mobilized the fervor of the American common person to fight for their freedom from the monarchy in exchange for oligarchy. And that's pretty much the standard we've set since. And so, like, the American Revolution, as it is called, was revolutionary. It was good, and then it was bad, right? Because then, I mean, immediately you have a civil war because over their fucking slave politics. So it's not. We're not exactly a great country. We'd love to think we are, but instead we're the whole point of our American greatness has been to be at the center of a geographically convenient place, like put the empire in a geographically convenient place. It's away from the other powers. It's over here, nice next to relatively destabilized or demilitarized people. Like Canada doesn't have nukes, right? Like they've done this on purpose. It's an isolationist tactic, And then from the center of that empire, you spread your tendrils out and gather resources and pull them into the imperial core from other countries. Like right now, I mean, one of the greatest resources you can see right now, it's like fucking tech and stuff. You know, they're taking rare earth minerals for everybody. Got to get the oil. Got to get, you know. We got to get Greenland so we have tactical positioning because we know we're pieces of shit. But how could we be bad, bro? How could we be the bad guys, dude? I have yet to speak to a conservative that doesn't just like being a fascist. Like, they're just fascists. They don't even know that they're that. Like, fuck it. You hear some of these guys talk, and I think, like, Teddy Roosevelt would shoot this guy with a musket. You know what I mean? He'd probably have a rifle. But still. He'd use a musket. Like, this is my grandpappy's. I don't understand how these uneducated fools can be so blinded so thoroughly. Like, I understand the mechanisms. I just don't understand how they can stay in it. Teddy was big on pistols. That's true. But he liked to ride horseback and shoot guns and swing swords. He wasn't all good. He led a racist campaign against Cubans too. But don't worry about it. He would kill these guys. I'm just following orders, dude. I don't see a way forward for this country in a positive way that doesn't involve repercussions for this entire era's villains, essentially. Like, from the top to the bottom. Like, 30% of pretty much everyone that exists, and then all those people that have power within that. That's pretty much where it's at. And that includes the billionaires. It's way easier to be told what to do than to think for yourself. To think for yourself is hard. Like, for half a chat when I ask, hey, where do you want to eat tonight? That's already a task. Imagine, hey, what do you believe about humanity and our place in it and how hierarchy ought to work? Like, that's a lot of work to do. People are stupid. We are animals. We are controllable. We're not different than fucking dogs in a lot of ways. We want food, we want shelter, and we want someone to pat us on the head and call us a good boy. That's all it fucking takes, regardless of your behavior, right? You could be a dog shit man. I'm on my second divorce. My kids don't love me. I love Trump though, bro. Like, fucking got no friends anymore except for my Trump friends, which aren't really helpful because we never talk about anything or share our feelings. It's all just anger and fear all the time, and beer. It's just pretty much a circle jerk, really, if you ask me. And then they just sit around and be angry and scared. That's what it is. The rest of us are like righteously angry, and I guess somewhat scared. But for me, it's not fear. It's like frustration with instability, which is kind of just still anger. Very masculine of me, of course. Of course, their confusion just spirals into more anger because they don't know. They can't sit there and just engage their amygdala and no other part of their brain and be smart. They're just going to be scared little fucking guys that are easily controllable. And that's it. Always waiting for the shoe to drop. Dude. That's bleak, man. Well, luckily, it seems the millennials are mostly not this. And everyone that's older than us must die. It's just inevitable. Human beings do that. So, we'll see. Obviously, not all of us are perfect, but of course Asmund Roach was saying that kind of shit. He should be fucking fumigated for sure. How is being suddenly homeless better than living where you're living? What, are you gonna get out of America? Sorry to tell you, but once you get out of America, there's social safety nets. Oh, out of that? Okay. Well, I disagree. I think most Zoomers are apathetic, maybe leaning left. I think that's more of an alpha thing. Zoomers seem pretty convicted and informed. They're just a little rotted and ironic. I feel like there's a lot of Zoomers that are really informed. I feel like the Millennial Zoomer Coalition is good. I feel like Gen Xers tend to be disappointing shitbags or based hippies. And then Alpha is like, I don't know, we gotta educate these kids, man. They feel so mad and helpless. Well, you're not. I mean, you can be mad, but you're not helpless. Oh. Well, Echo Icker, luckily, as you age, like I just said, your dad will die someday. And won't that feel fucking good? Believe me, it's worth sticking around for. There's some frustration that exists there still on account of his being shitty. Like, I mean, yeah. Oh, yeah, he will. It'll feel good. I promise it will. It's a wild quote to walk into. Your shitty dad will die someday? It's not. It's real. They all will. Literally all of them. They can't help it. And shitty dead dads die faster than most other dead dads. That's true. They can definitely do it. They're capable of dying. It's certainly occurred. I don't know anyone's shitty dead dad that is alive. Woke too. Even woker. Wokeness will save everything, of course. Because wokeness is just being... Like, really what it is... Hey, do you have a moderate education in the goings-on? You're woke now! You don't even have to know everything. Literally a moderate education. You're woke. So, if you can... it's not a joke. Like, being woke is just being empathetic. You barely have to be empathetic to be woke. You could be like, it doesn't personally benefit me if the rest of society around me is destabilized because they do not have their survival necessities. You do not need empathy to be woke. You could just understand reality. It's genuinely not contingent that you are even nice. You don't even have to be smart to be woke. I know lots of dumbass woke people. Frankly. Woke isn't even empathy. Empathy is something that makes you like a leftist, I think. Wokeness is like you could be a sock down. You could be like a progressive woker. You could be on the wokeness spectrum. I don't think you can be a psychopath though, like these fucking fascists. That's really where it's at. Like, it just does not benefit anybody for the government to be able to just kill people. For any reason. They should not be allowed to. Any government official that does kill someone, minimum sentence. I would undo minimum drug sentencing and enforce minimum murder sentencing for anyone that commits murder, doubled if you are a government official. Like, I would change our entire fucking system. Like, corruption, for instance. Like, we wouldn't be in this situation if politicians couldn't make money, for instance, outside of their station. But they can. Politicians can directly profit outside of their political office, which is ridiculous. It's obvious what the problem is there. If that doesn't happen, ICE doesn't exist. XQC would therefore be in the mines because they would do people's cognitive testing, right? And XQC would fucking be right in there. Are you kidding me? XQC cannot call other people R slurs and then say he wants them to be mistreated. He would literally be the first fucking member. You made a big Christian fight? Good. Keep doing it. XQC is not a literate man. He's not smart by any stretch. Yeah, that's okay. So, chat, I'm told we have a dingo that isn't Dave that is viable, and they got a dingo when they were editing it. Now, Iron Gullet, I shall ask, the whole 90 minutes you got a dingo? Because I'd love to run a Christian-centered dingo, but if you think the 30-minute segments are viable, how's it dingo without Dave? It just worked. I was Matt, but I'm Jake. I'm definitely not Matt. Welcome, though.
I'm here.
Kringo. It stands for Christian and cringe. How come every Christian has dirty laundry? No. I'd say that's pretty viable. All right, perfect. Okay. All right. We're gonna we got Dingo tonight with Christians, and we'll see it. We can use the regular Dingo as a base, and if we think new squares are necessary, maybe we can make a variant specific for these guys, making hell nervous. But I've seen a lot of your guys' interactions with them. I haven't watched them, but I've seen that you guys have been doing it. So I'm very interested in any specimens that are viable like this. That's fascinating. So we have rancid vibes. If you want some a viable dingo without Dave, it's like Dave substitute. It's like impossible Dave. Pretty good. Impossible gloop even. I also have. This is not a drill. I have something that I'm going to watch. I'm going to watch on a higher speed. I'm going to set it right now to 1.5. Look at what's happening. We have Shadiversity's AI avatar and the fucking spoon. Both of these guys are fucking terrified of me, by the way. This guy cannot fucking deal with it. He is so mad at me still. I invited him on to have a conversation, but of course he shit his pants and pissed him like a baby. I'll mention that again when we start this trash part. I'll mention that again. I'll make sure to. He is such a fucking piss baby. It's hilarious. I would be happy if either of them showed up to stream, though. It would be lovely. So we have a chock full of specimens tonight.
I'm not fucking sad.
Fine, ignore me, see if I care. Yeah, we have some good rot. So, chat, if you want to lock in some amazing rot bingo tonight, some Christian dingus,
I'm here.
we got it. A child bride with children. Oh, good. That's great. Excellent. He's reproduced. How good. How wonderful. Subscribe immediately, chat. Let's do a smoke check if this stays fucking lit, actually. Keeps going out. Hell yeah, Angry Salmon. Needs a subscription.
What's wrong with Canadian bacon?
I don't know.
What's wrong with cheese?
Nothing. Nothing is wrong with cheese. Chat, we have a little momentum. Hey. I think the next one's gonna pop the thing up. I don't know, though. I don't know. I was right.
I hope you very
No
have
Pickles,
a
47
fantastic
months. You have been here the whole time. Thank you. Has it only been 47 months? Only 4 years? Feels like 5. In a good way. It's a golden Kappa train. Oh, fuck. If we do it. Like Olivia Anomaly. If they got one, it would be good.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I like, yeah,
A golden suck?
Yeah, he coerced me into sucking him off.
Not a golden suck train, dude. It can't be nobody. Nobody did it before. I'm in a holding pattern. Are we gonna clap cheeks?
But yeah, I mean,
Clover
yeah,
time!
like, yeah, he coerced me into sucking him off.
It's happening.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, he coerced me into sucking him off.
Great. It is a suck
I'm talking
train.
about Jake, bitch.
Hey, thanks. Thanks. Chat, 2 of them away from level 2. We have Christian Dingo tonight, if you want it.
But yeah, I mean, yeah,
SMG Hottie, give one of the jaded ones. Artistic simplicity.
He coerced me into sucking him off.
Sucking.
Yes, socialism works. But yeah, I mean, yeah, he coerced me into sucking him off.
Ugh. God. It's a golden Kappa. If you participate in this train, you will get a bit, an emo, a golden Kappa, and maybe more stuff. Participation rewarded. SMG Hottie is our only lamper. Everybody else is juicing, sucking, doing it for themselves, dude. Fighting Hobbit needs one. Golden Kappa and Super Gordo and a Super Godo dinner? Godo?
Yes, socialism works.
Doctor!
Yes,
Nick Snort!
socialism works.
With a 5 base, get one a Nuka
Yes,
0.
socialism
Grandma
works.
Disco, Champ
Yes,
331,
socialism works.
Kung Fu Kami,
Yes, socialism
And Tonto.
works.
Mr. Whiskers, get one a
Yes,
Fighting Hobbit.
socialism works.
We're level 3. It gave double notice. It gave you the Bawu and the individuals. Okay. All right. Every time someone gets a golden Kappa, an ice agent loses their wings. Okay. Does that mean every 5 they lose their lives? Because we're 5 away from a 4. It is known like a Horcrux situation. I like that. Chat's the best part of the song.
But I mean, yeah, he coerced me into sucking him off.
Nobody. Thank you. We got Dingy if you want it. It's an iron gullet joint. He curated a 3-parter for us.
By the way, I'm not fucking sad.
I'm happy for you. Jay Ganja, give one to Jake and Bake 13. Thank you. Me too, dude. Me too. Two minutes to get to level 4. Zysurge needs one. Very shocked penis.
He
Hey, Menemone, thank
coerced me
you.
into sucking him off.
Goddamn Melon Kuma, get
Yes,
one to
socialism
Zysurge.
works.
Appreciate it. Chipping away. It's definitely in play, chat. 3 away from level 4. We got 1 minute. 1 minute. It worked right away for Zysurge. It could happen for you. I don't know. The golden buzzer approacheth. 30 seconds. We need 3 of them. Arnar. Arnar. Ooh. Powerful. 2 of them. Not even 2 of them. Like 1.5. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Hey,
A short changer?
I need 2 seats.
A short changer! No, it worked! SMG Hottie, give one to Kinma. MNT Treasure, this one. Quebeca, team it up with Juice. Arax and Silverblood, 5 base. Give one to Sandwich Rat. Choate Grotner.
Yes, socialism works.
I like saying that. Cartwright DiMaggio. Zalassa.
Socialism works.
And Motomamio.
Socialism works.
Thank you. Very close.
Socialism works.
That's a smoke checker I don't require. I'm going to light the other.
Socialism works.
Or I'm going to rather roll the other kind of weed. I gotta go to the weed store probably tomorrow. It was a close one. And now we're almost done with level 4. Yeah, they do love edging. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Hell yeah, Grandma Disco. Got one. It's nice to have real grandmas hanging out in chat. That must mean I'm pretty cool. Alright, chat. It's almost the best part. I would share with everybody if you guys were available. I go through so much weed. I'm a big sharer of weed. 1 away! After Undersuits 41 months. That's part of the song, dude. 1 away from 5. Hello. Good evening. Neither of your kids want kids. I don't really blame them, Sarson. That's where I'm at. where I'm at, dude. To some extent, like, you know, I see my nephew, and, like, he's cute and stuff, and, like, I'm excited for him to grow up, but it does not burgeon in me a desire to bring life into this world. I'd love, but, dude, Bob Dylan was so fucking, he was on fire when he was a young man. He hasn't made good music in, like, 30 years, but he fucking crushed it in Masters of War, when he like resented the idea that he was scared to bring children into the world because of the times. Like you take that from people, you know what I mean? Like, I still don't think I would be very, I don't think I'm not inclined to want kids anyway, even under good circumstances. Like, I can't foresee that. But I'm annoyed that it's solidified my choice, and I feel robbed of the freedom of it, right? And I think a lot of people do. Honestly, can't say I would have kids now if I were 22. Yeah. I know. It's crazy, dude.
It's getting late and you wanna drive it home.
It's crazy. The kids we do have, though, the way I see this generation parent, I have a lot of hope for. I have a lot of hope for them. Millennials are good parents, man. If you're a parent right now during this, you're great. Just keep doing the right thing, man. You're doing fantastic. We need you guys. You're lovely. Chat, we're one away from level 5. Yeah. Potatoes!
But.
Honor!
But.
Never forget to remember that the troops are not your lords, and you don't have to obey them. Chat, 8 away from the Dingo Zone. Adam, 25 months. Thank you very much. Their 4th kid? Holy fucking shit. They're not rich by any chance, are they? DGen Station, 52 months. Usually, people with 4 kids are either poor as fuck or rich. They don't make them otherwise.
Yes, socialism.
God
works.
damn. Mel and Kuma, give it one to the butt saluter. Potatoes. Papas potatoes. On account of the throwing around the money. And also, papas is potatoes in Spanish. Who's got a fucking pension, dude? That's crazy. Chat, 5-piece away. She just became a doctor? Well, she probably has money. They have the money then. You're not gonna have the fucking time, though. Got it. Is he a good parent? Holy shit. Are either of them? Doctors are busy. Lucy the Fury needs one! 5-piece.
Yes, socialism works.
Goddamn Mel and Kuma, give one to Lucy the Fury. Thank you. Yeah, until they think your job is woke, LaCroix boy. I'm happy for you, though. Take it. Slurp it up, dude. Get whatever you can. My daughter is determined to live the lesbian dual income, no kids lifestyle. Dude, I gotta be honest with you. It's pretty fucking nice. It's like extended childhood that gets robbed from you, but also with the brain and experience of an adult. So you get to go hang out and do stuff, and you don't have to be, I don't know. Communal childcare needs to be a thing. Education needs to be good. Healthcare needs to be good. so much. Before I'm like, okay. And even then. Dinkin is nice. 4-piece away from the Dingo Zone chat. Or it'll be on sale, but we could lock it in. We're edging it. Chat's edging. I don't blame them. It's a good old hump day. It's a good day for it. Good old hump day. Dr. Nick Snort, Araxan Silverblooded, Goddamn Melon Kuma are your top 3. Thank you very much. Everybody else has been juicing or doing it for themselves. It's been pretty spread out and communal. Thank you very much, Shad. Appreciate the support. Either way we do stuff, the bingo is just, you know, cherry on top. Also, my
But
fuck yeah,
he coerced me into sucking him off.
HQT Adam, thanks for the biddies. Do you ever think USPS, when you see it, is just trying to call a cat over? Chat. I don't know. 4 away. Very good effort. It'll be on sale later if this isn't it, but it's a great opportunity. 5-piece Dougie. 5-piece Dougie.
Healthy body, healthy mind. Being a physical all the time. Rewarding ourselves romantically.
Dingless and undonged.
It's the best.
That's okay. Oh! Goddamn Melon Kuma. Too late, but I'll tell you what, that'll definitely factor into the sale. Completed 4 next time if you want it. My goodness. A super sale.
That's more than a physical thing.
Goddamn Melon Kuma, 5-piece. Thank you so much. Giving to Ohio, guys, Maisu, Lifted Lizard, Common Oblivion, Samaj, and Kevin Tense. Very close. It could have happened. We could still be going. But we're not. That's okay. I appreciate you a lot. Dr. Nick Snort, Araxan Silverblood, and goddamn Melon Kuma. A 3-way tie, 5 each. Thank you so much.
Let's work out.
We'll have an opportunity later to unlock Dingo. It could happen. This could be the guy. Mo Nope, thank you very much. It was about to be the best part of the song. That's okay. That's okay. The danger of the Edge type train. It really is. It's the danger. It's playing in my head. Worth. Valid. It's okay. We'll have plenty of opportunities later. It doesn't all have to happen at once. I think he's just introducing him until this. Whatever lamps, Dr. Nick Snort, Araxan Silverblood, and goddamn Melon Kuma want, I will do it. I'll do it! As we descend into trash. Did I bring this together? I don't think so. Hilarious, though. Neither of them are man enough for me. Non-binary? Okay, I found it. It always takes me an extra second. I keep saying this. I don't know. Maybe it's the color. Maybe it's just a little darker. Bisexual? Good. Good. Looks wonderful. Their shared dislike of you. Yeah. Boop. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. All right. So as you can see here, we have the avatars of two of the most spineless, wormiest right-wing men on the internet. One is Shadiversity, hiding behind his very poorly articulated, like the angle on this makes no fucking sense. Very poorly articulated AI himself, I suppose. He lost a little weight in he got some plastic surgery in this, and his hairline's a little different. That's okay. It's good to have, gender affirming art of yourself as a thing to aspire toward. I think that's fine. And then this guy is angry Ranstsona Spoon, who is too cowardly to discuss our political disagreements over the course of a conversation. He told me that he was too scared to do that and does not wish to do any sort of live talks because he fears social settings in which it's not going to be a circle jerk. And things like that. He also doesn't want him to have his face on camera for obvious reasons, and so has chosen his gender-affirming avatar to be a spoon with a mustache. So that's where we're at, which is fine. I don't mind. I'm down with the furries. There's no reason I can't be down with spoons with mustaches. Sonas, right? Although I do think it's very hypocritical for any right-wing individual to be of any sort of subculture that goes against the norm. It would be ridiculous to allow them in your space, and you should excise them from those and make them feel like social pariahs every second of every day, and never allow them any happiness or joy spent amongst fellow pals. That's how I feel. Anyway, these two guys are going to discuss the flaws of liberalism together, which is cool because I also don't like liberalism. I think liberalism is a bad half measure for actual governance that just pussyfoots around and sort of sits atop the slime pool, sort of like algae, and just sort of photosynthesizes off of the processes that take place between the rest of us and the government, while the people who are actually conniving and benefiting even more directly from it tend to run the actual show because we have allowed politicians to greatly improve their own station from within and profit from their office, which is despicable and disgusting. And then, of course, to be able to be bought. These two gentlemen love that, however. They have no issue with being able to buy politicians' opinions or votes for things. In fact, having money is definitely better than voting. It should just be rich people that run us, actually.
Thank goodness someone else is on the southern bloody hemisphere and knows my pain during it's like 40 degrees today, well, close to.
Oh, God. Geez, that's rough. I think it's like 24 by me.
They're talking about the fucking weather. I'm going to skip forward through their mediocre foreplay. Let's see if 2 minutes goes by and they're talking about something interesting. What do you say? We got 2 hours to comb through. I'm not going to watch the whole fucking thing from start to finish, am I? Hell no. We're gonna peruse their conversation and sit in on the good parts.
Hailing people's freedom for basic rule of law. You don't, grant people the freedom to murder. You don't grant. We try to.
Yeah, you do. They literally do. They grant people the freedom to murder all the time. The right wing and liberals, for the record, grant the government the ability to murder whoever the fuck they want every day. Absolutely, and other governments that they can profit from. It has nothing like. And select politically advantageous murderers like Kyle Rittenhouse, for instance. Derek Chauvin.
Punish people who exercise, unrestrained freedom doing anything they want, right?
What? Unrestrained freedom? You're not for unrestrained freedom. People try to be like, I want to wear a dress. And you're like, no! You must be a man in a suit and sad and beige. You must like whiskey even if you don't like the taste. You must like women even if you don't like their touch. You must. You don't like fucking freedom. You don't like the freedom from oppression, for instance. You don't like the freedom of a worker to be able to choose where to work. Rather, you like them to be pressured to work at a place that's pretty near to them and that has the monopoly on any sort of the job market, right? Like, you don't wish for freedom. You wish for oligarchy and or landlords, essentially.
Yeah. No, if you look at that concept of, well, we give people the maximum of freedom, it doesn't actually mean anything. If you just think about it, well, what do people do with their freedom? That's essentially what you're asking. And then from that, basically, once you start extrapolating that into what that actually means is functional, then you realize what you say of I glorify freedom, it actually means nothing. Because freedom in this sense is just absent of an external restraint. Okay, well, every society has restraints. So what separates one society from another is what those restraints are for and what they ultimately do. Then you realize freedom doesn't actually mean anything. Freedom is just how much leeway are you giving your society and why.
Not unlike a Republican to be anti-freedom. There we go. Or I guess in this case, a fascist. So yeah, just an excellent example of someone who doesn't have pretty much any understanding of language, law, concepts, not even colloquial understanding of the word freedom, really. So his argument is that you don't have freedom if there is law, and because we must have law, then freedom is bad. And it's just like so stupid. No, we should maximize our freedoms, our personal freedoms. And that's it. Your personal freedoms do not extend to killing other people. That violates other people's personal freedoms, right? So when those two things don't contradict, you can maximize your freedoms. You, on the other hand, do not agree with that. You think people need to be controlled and told how to behave in a cage because when they behave outside of that, you get very upset. They can't be anything other than white Christian men, essentially. It's a terrible argument. He's not a smart man. He's not an intelligent spoon. He's just a dumb guy who thinks he I guess he's talked himself into thinking he has a point. I don't know how. I guess it's kind of the Dunning-Kruger thing with these two essentially the whole time anyway. So I guess that's it. So I don't know what the education system is like down in Australia, but it's got to be comparable to the US at least.
Then what makes your society then?
Yeah, well, the way that you kind of described it, how much leeway do you give your society? I think that's a perfectly logical way to kind of describe it.
Of course he would cuck immediately to whatever guest he's on. If I said the same exact thing, but from a leftist perspective, telling him how the United States actually works or his government actually works, right? Just because I was a leftist, he'd be like, no. He just bends the fuck over immediately.
Could still call that, granting people's freedoms, essentially.
Yeah.
But then it's like, as how much? And you get into muddy, convoluted waters when it comes up to like, who are the people who will then determine what rights individuals have, and what, the role of government, how much power should they have to restrain the freedoms of individuals, and all those, elements that kind of branch off from it. But bringing it back to that idea about, okay, it's about freedom, all right? And then I want to bring it back to the question, okay, how much freedom is too much freedom? Because when we look at the world today...
How much freedom is too much freedom? Shadiversity here to limit your personal liberties. None. There's no extent to your personal freedom that is too much, in my opinion. I don't really think there is a limit to that, right? To the extent it doesn't contradict someone else's, right? So, for instance, being a billionaire does, and controlling in a world where money involves necessities, it's unethical. In a situation where money is just tokens to buy stuff that you want, that you don't need, like literally superfluous things, only that, I don't care.
Especially the woke movement, it seems to be...
The woke movement. Too much freedom in the wokes.
Yeah, very liberal in the sense that you must allow someone the freedom to do what makes them happy, unrestrained, even if it's self-destructive.
Even if it's self-destructive, listen to yourself! Okay, so you don't have the freedom to drink alcohol then. Done. You just made a prohibition argument. You don't even understand the fucking argument you make. They're so stupid. So this entire thing is an exercise in showing you how servile a right-wing mind is. If you are a right-wing person and you're watching this, you are a servant. You are a serf. You are a submissive. And you don't even realize it. They've told you that being submissive is manly, and you're like, yeah, that sounds right. And then you bend over and cuck yourself to billionaires and Donald Trump, and they can go be pedophiles and be murderers and take shit that's not theirs, violate your fucking constitutional rights, burden your neighbors with undue fucking suffering. And you're like, oh, good. This is good because I chose red team to win, and then they did. And that makes me feel like a winner vicariously, even though materially it's getting worse for me. Like every day. They want to be stepped on. And I'm not joking. Surf with an E. They are literally, if you are a right-wing man, I can talk you through step by step why you are a servant. And you'll never be more than that. No matter what. The only way you will be is through nepotism, frankly. You're a servant. No matter how rich you fucking are, you're a servant. It doesn't matter. You're not a billionaire. You're not the fucking president, man. The closest you can get is like fucking in office or something. And even then it doesn't matter. All those people end up fucking going to jail or becoming servants of the fucking, guy. They're just all fucking sucking his toes. It's pathetic. It's absolutely fucking pathetic. These two, if they had any spines at all, should be hunched over and hurling in disgust of themselves as they try to discuss how we should limit freedom. Idiots.
And when I say self-destructive, almost like to an objective level, that hang on, we can see that there's a pattern of behavior.
So he's just obsessed with being trans, I guess?
That is objectively self-destructive, right? It raises an interesting question then about, should people have the... Now, I don't know the answer to this question, okay? I'm just throwing it out there. Should people have the right, the freedom, to engage in behaviors that are objectively self-destructive?
Yes. Yes. If you don't agree with that, we ban religion right now, which I would love to do. What I think is more important is that we ban the ritualistic indoctrination of children into religion. I don't care if this guy, as a man with logic and reason, decides, you know what, I'm a born-again Christian. I don't mind if he's a pariah, if he wants to choose this shit. But that's not how it happens. It's always born in a Christian house, born in a Christian society, doesn't take it too seriously until adolescence, and then, my girlfriend broke up with me and I'm a Christian at 13, bro, never look back. Same guy will say a 13-year-old can't make the decision or the determination that of their self-identity. You know what I mean? Shut up.
I would say no.
You would say no?
No.
See,
It always boils down to who should check that.
Yeah.
Because if you look at sort of what the wokies believe, I don't actually think it's freedom. I think they just wish to impose an order.
Disagree. It's 100% freedom. You don't understand the leftist position because you're too fucking cowardly to have conversations with leftists. Because they talk to you like this, I guess, because you don't command the intellectual respect you think you do when you talk about this subject. Like, I don't want to impose a fucking order on you. I want you to be free of capitalist burden. I want you to be able to get healthcare, education, and housing without needing to be servant to someone else first. Like, do you think about this ever? Do you ever think like, oh, they say in order for me to have a life, I have to serve another man's pocket. I don't serve my own. I am his employee. And only through that exchange do I deserve dignity and respect. You are a servant class. Listen to yourselves. Such serfs.
Well, what's interesting with the woke mindset is that they take the freedom, where it's like, okay, I can pursue happiness. When I say unrestrained, there's the common restraints, and usually the main restraint that people would apply to this concept of maximal freedom is so long as you don't impact the freedom or the safety of another individual.
Right. Yes. Correct.
And so usually people say you should be granted that level of freedom.
Yes.
And even if it ends up harming yourself, as long as it doesn't harm other people.
Why would it matter? You let guys fucking skydive. Huh? You're going to tell me I can't let a guy go fucking climb a mountain or go camping with no supplies or fucking try to swim across the English Channel? What? So I gotta have a problem, not with those guys risking their literal lives in the moment, but I have to be really worried about someone pursuing happiness in a way that makes you uncomfortable. I'm scared of heights. I'm not going to go skydiving. It makes me uncomfortable. I would ban skydiving if they tried to make me, if it was mandatory, right? This man fights with a sword. It doesn't make any sense. It's like fucking, like the geometry, it's tripping me up because it's not drawn by a human being. So it's going like literally not only perpendicular, but kind of back from his wrists out. It's like an MC Escher blade.
But what I find people of the woke mindset do, they take that and then they say, okay, I am going to be living my life in this direction that I believe is going to bring me happiness. Now you must acknowledge it also. And if you do...
You're just talking about trans people. I don't care if you acknowledge trans people. What I think you can't deal with is other people going like, well, fuck you then. What you can't deal with is how people regard you. It has nothing to do with like you have to do this thing. No, you can do whatever you want, but you're going to be treated like a fucking transphobe and you're bitching about it like a baby. Like, do you like free speech? Then shut the fuck up. You don't get to just harass people because they live different. It's one thing to be like, I'm not going to call Tina Tim or whatever or Tim Tina. I don't know. Like, I'm not going to do that. And people just roll their fucking eyes at you. And then when Tim or Tina, whatever their actual name is, comes around and you call them the opposite thing and they don't regard you. And everyone's like, what the fuck are you doing, man? And you'll feel embarrassed. I mean, that's how it ought to be. And it is for most transphobes. I mean, that really is what it is. Like, you're just embarrassed of your own lack of understanding of your sexuality and your gender and your space within the masculine continuum. Like, you're just made uncomfortable by other people's freedoms. Your discomfort shouldn't fucking matter. Frankly. It shouldn't fucking matter. I don't care. People are expressing themselves how they see fit. So are fucking you. You're cringe as shit, both of you. We still allow it. If cringe was fucking illegal, you guys would be in the fucking gulags right now.
Not acknowledge my lifestyle and the way I'm practicing my things, that it will lead to happiness, you're a bigot and you should be cancelled and everything like that. And of course, the biggest...
You're a bigot and you should be canceled. Being canceled is just the rest of society saying you're a fucko. Like, you should be canceled. Being canceled is literally like, oh, I don't support this guy because he sucks. Like, the reverse of that is you saying that you deserve people's support irrespective of your conduct, which is not personal responsibility whatsoever. Like, they can't live up to any of their own fucking standards. He doesn't like free speech because he doesn't like being canceled. He doesn't like when people say he's a dummy. He doesn't like fucking freedom of expression. He doesn't like fucking any kind of freedom. But these guys can't handle this kind of conversation because they're just so fucking wrong so much. It triggers them to hear that. And so all they're going to do is go, no, say slurs and shit. This is all they can do. If you're a right winger, I want you to think about how much you do this. How often do you go, you're a fucking R slur, or you're a fucking, like, you just think of a slur and try to like trigger the lib or whatever the fuck you think you're doing. And it doesn't work. It's just eye roll. It's just cringe. Like, you think it's a rebuttal, but instead you're just a servant. Like, when Republicans and conservatives and fascists speak to me, they're just like turning around and like showing me their butt. And I'm like, dude, please don't turn around. And they're like, but hold on. And they turn around and they fucking start pulling their shorts down. I'm like, dude, please don't please stop. And they're like, no, I have to show you. And then they fucking pull their pants down and they bend over and they fucking spread their cheeks. And they're like, oh, I just can't fucking wait until I'm next fucked by my overlord. And I just have to tell you how much I want to be fucked by my overlord. And I'm just telling these guys to stop. Understand how the rest of us see you. Because if they go low enough, I might disengage. That's literally what it is. Remember when that Nazi came on and he was like, I'm gay, but I stopped being gay because it's bad. And I was like, it's okay to be a gay kid, man. It's fine. And he was like, no, it's not. And he started saying slurs. I'm like, yeah, it is. It's all right to be gay. It's not bad for you to have your sexuality. And he's like, yeah, it is. Anyway, he DM'd me after and was like, fuck you, bro. And I'm like, dude, seriously, if you're gay and you like are attracted to men, there's nothing wrong with it, and you don't need to feel bad. And if you ever need a community, here we are. He's like, fuck you, bro. That was like 2 years ago. In 4 years, 3 years maybe, that guy's gonna be in my DMs and be like, I'm sorry, man. I am gay as shit, and you helped me a lot. It always takes about that long. Be gay, do less slurs.
Manifestation that I've seen about this is the trans movement and gender identity. That if you do not acknowledge someone's gender identity, you are denying their
Humanity, yeah.
humanity. Exactly. You're erasing their existence. They get to that level.
Erasing their existence. I just don't think you're able to like really read people's comments on that. What they're saying is that like you can't determine someone else's identity. Like you're like, I want to be called Shad, but what if everyone called you pedophile instead, just all the time? You know what I mean? What if everyone just like, this guy's, you know, this pedophile guy, and you're like, wait, whoa, I don't like being associated with being called pedophile, but everyone just adopted the name. Wouldn't that make you upset? Like your friends and family, even they're just like, yeah, pedophile, you know, a shadophile, you know that guy? Yeah, I think he's a kid fucker, but you know. You do you, man. Like, do you think that would be upsetting if everyone was just like, yeah, you're a pedophile all the time? Because you chose to go by Shad and wear a gambeson in the 2020s? You know? Do you think? No, of course not. Thinking is hard.
Which is bonkers to me, because that's then them imposing their beliefs, which is restricting other people's freedom to believe what they want. But it's
where you have it, Shad. Well, Shad Base and Shadiversity are the same person, and he will have no problem with being identified as something that you believe he is, irrespective of how he identifies. So if you call him Shad Base and put all of the allegations of Shad Base on Shad Base, who is right in front of us, of course, he will not be bothered, because he does not believe that his self-identification matters. He believes that our identification, society's identification of him, is what matters. He thinks to externalize your identity makes more sense than to understand it from within, and then to inform the rest of the people how they should act. No. We know better than Shad who he is. He is Shad Base, the same exact person. I can tell because of how they spell their names. I know that they're the same person. That's how I feel. You won't wokely tell me how to refer to you. He's called Shad. He's a man. He is Shad Base, the known lolicon pedophile. He makes art. Same shit. Everyone knows this. Imagine externalizing your own identity, which is, by the way, every accusation is an admission. They externalize their identities as well, because they LARP as men. They are not actually men. They wouldn't neither of these guys would be behind avatars if either of them was confident in their masculinity. That is a fact. No man confident in his masculinity has a fucking cartoon avatar. None of them do. Okay? I mean, you might sometimes. I mean, like in this situation, they'd be just fucking talking to each other. Eroding. Thanks for Prime.
It seems like this idea of, hang on, if you do not acknowledge my lifestyle, my, liberal life, you are now, how dare you, you're restricting my liberal life as a... No,
that's literally fucking you Mormon cunt. Like, literally, that's you. Oh, you'll have to let me indoctrinate my kids into this fucking religion of falsities. I need to misinform my children on the world that they live in. You just need to accept that. Sorry, my religious freedoms, though. Oh, okay, but not my fucking freedom to express, which comes way fucking before your religious freedoms. No, your religious freedoms are more important. Sure. Do you see? Do you see?
Result, which is bonkers, but that seems to be one of the end states of the woke ideology.
Yeah, I would say is one thing that I don't like that people do is they go, here's an accepted rule book, that's how we should behave, and they start pointing at the hypocrisy of other people. Now,
He's a fucking Mormon.
We go, yeah, the hypocrisy model only works with you because these are your values. They don't give a crap about your values.
I don't even fucking refer to a book. I don't even know what the fuck he's talking about. I accept that this guy self-identifies as a spoon. I do not care. It's irrelevant to me.
Yeah, well,
So if someone doesn't adhere to your values, there's no point in you trying to dunk on them with what you believe.
Then shut the fuck up. What are you talking about? That's your fucking YouTube channel. How are these guys so not self-aware? This is literally your YouTube channel. Listen to yourself. Listen to your description.
Pointing at the hypocrisy of other people. And we go, what people do is they go, here's an accepted rule book, that's how we should behave. And they start pointing at the hypocrisy of other people. And we go, yeah, the hypocrisy model only works with you because these are your values. They don't give a crap about your values.
yeah, well,
So if someone doesn't adhere to your values, there's no point in you trying to dunk on them with what you believe.
Dog. I've never seen someone self-own themselves more than right fucking now. That is so silly. He spends his entire time as a Ranstsona on the internet trying really hard to dunk on the libs. That's his fucking job. This is brain-meltingly stupid already. There's a 0% chance I get fucking deep into this. There's no fucking way I could surmount such a thing. Can you imagine listening to this for 2 hours? I couldn't do it.
That's something that I would wish people move away from. Because if you just look at them, what are they actually trying to do? They're just trying to use raw power and shove it down your throat. And then they try to chastise you because you are not adhering to the values that you espouse by essentially dunking on them. And they try to flip it back down on you. I would just say,
A bunch of people in a social setting saying you suck is not anyone cramming anything down your throat, you freak. Using the government to disenfranchise minority groups is, however. It absolutely is. Things that both of you support.
if you just look at, they're trying to use state power to wield it against you. So if we go,
They don't use state power. There isn't an example of the wokeness state just putting away the fucking chuds. Can you imagine? Asmongold in shackles. You're just too cringe, sir. Wokeness is spoken. These guys are going to be dragged kicking and screaming into the future where they don't have to toil beneath a lord that has coins. Can you imagine? Can you imagine respecting a man because he has more coins than you? Imagine, if you will, can you imagine a situation where people wore their wealth on top of them? And that's how we understood. And he just literally wore like fucking coins. Can you imagine how silly it would be to follow those people and to listen to them as if they just demand any of your respect or adherence? I do not understand why these people are so cucked. If you don't want to be trans, that's cool. Me either. I don't really even care. I've told chat this a million. I'm so annoyed that I even have to talk about trans people, and it's because I'm their ally. It's because I don't care if they're trans. I care if they're cool. That it happens that most trans people are cool. Not all. You have some shitters too. It's just a confluence of the times. But wouldn't it be nice if like half of all trans people were actually trash? I live for a day when we have real equity. When just like everyone can just vibe, and then some of them are just dog shit for other reasons, not because they've been told by the media they like to consume that they ought to be mad at a different group right now.
okay, you are more than happy to use state power to shove your worldview down my throat. Okay, so why do I listen to anything you have to say? I'm just going to do the same thing, and you can choke on it.
Well,
I'm going to do the same thing. I don't understand why he thinks state power is being used against him.
that is the interesting thing, is because ultimately, right, at the end of the day, the only way to actually impose any type of kind of moral standard on society is through state power. I mean, the other
Impose a moral standard on society. Listen to how you fucking talk. I do not wish to, as a leftist, impose any sort of morality on the state or from the state to the citizens. You'll naturally come to morality of your own making, like everybody, by having your needs met and then engaging with your community in positive ways. You'll just, you'll find community with them.
way is through discussion and conversion. When I say conversion, I'm talking
Your
about
religion used to be the old one, yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's literally how my religion has always been presented and taught. And now I'm a Latter-day Saint. Mormon is a shorthand, right? And I've actually dedicated most of my life to spreading this ideology because I think it leads to the most maximal happiness that people can find out. That's what I found in my life. And the way that I was a missionary for 2 years for my church, and the way that it was done was through invitation and discussion and persuasion.
Neither of these guys are willing to have discussions with people that disagree with them, though. Neither of them. Why are they pretending otherwise? It's such a, they have their little tiny dicks in each other's hands, and they're like going, aren't we intellectuals? Only here, apparently. Only right here are they willing to have discussions and debates and to convert other people. Hate the use of the word persuasion. Yeah, I don't know. I just want you to be right, too. I want you to also understand that you could be correct. As a recovering Mormon, it's so cringe to listen to now. As a lifetime atheist, all religious people are cringe and wrong, and I respect anyone who has left their religion, because it sounds like it wasn't easy. All you have to do is be curious one time. That's all it takes. Have the courage to be curious and ask questions they tell you you're not supposed to, and it's over. Because it's just not true. It sucks that they fucking lied, though. Really, the hard thing is, so they lie to people in order to control them. And it's obvious, especially in Mormonism, right? Because of how fucking tied that in. Did you get excommunicated and everything? It's very hard, isn't it, for 28 years. I have friends that are ex-Mormons as well. Excommunicated, they have to take you out of the book. You have to go to the church and do the whole thing, especially if you're married, and then your spouse might fucking leave you. No one talks to you, etc. You're all cut off. It's a fucking cult. It all is. All of them are. Not just Mormons. Do I still have that fucking... No, I don't. Do I? Oh, yeah, I do. Mormons are the most brainwashed group, right next to Protestant, Roman Catholic, and Eastern Orthodox, all Christians. Most brainwashed fucking group. It sucks, man. Married in the temple, the whole 9 yards. Oh yeah. So did you get a divorce, or are you still together? So I like to ask, you don't have to talk about it if you don't want to. I have a friend that went through it and they're still married, and Jehovah's Witnesses have it rough too. But they both left the church together, so that was nice. I have other people that went through divorces for it. I have other people that Yeah, Mormonism sucks. It's really bad. It's especially bad for the kids. Well, like any other religion, really.
Never with coercion, force, or the sword. And that's kind of laid the foundation that is just in my mind, it's the natural instinct that I have that if you're ever wanting to, spread what you think is true ideology, it needs to be through persuasion and discussion.
Okay, well, but you guys just said that the wokes can't do that. You know what I mean? They said, well, then I'm going to use state power to stop that. You don't even listen to yourselves.
But that's not what the woke movement have been doing. They've been like, no, they're going to impose it. And first they've tried to impose social justice, which is social consequences. And it starts with public shame, jeering, belittlement, browbeating.
None of those are government imposed. That's social justice. You being told that you're a piece of shit is your doing. I mean, I'm not going to fucking feel sorry for you.
Beating and insults, right? And then they take it a step further and they try and get power through any type of organization, either through your employment, and then they push it, of course, also to state power. So we're going to impose that any discussion, speech against my ideology now is hate speech, and they're going to get the government.
What are you fucking talking about? As a Mormon, you have more
by the
protections
way-
in Australia.
I'm not fucking sad.
Dude, there's hate speech laws against talking about Mormons more than there are against fucking trans people. Holy shit. Shad's a Mormon, yeah. All the dumbest people are religious. It's so sad. It's so sad. Like half of them are dumb because they've been fucking brainwashed, and the other half are dumb because they are like fucking actually being ignorant. It's usually the difference between like the younger ones and the older ones. It sucks. It's like enforced servitude. It's so crazy. It's such a mind fuck to like watch people go through, because you can see their brains are there. I've talked to Mormon missionaries. I used to live in Boise, Idaho. Mormon missionaries would come around, and I would talk to these boys, and they'd be like, I would just casually mention, oh, have you ever looked up, this or that or whatever, they're asking about, because they're asking about like the universe and how we exist and what I think and all this shit. And it's like, have you ever looked this up? Oh no, we're not allowed to fucking look stuff up on Google. You know what I mean? And I go, is that alarming to you at all that you think that they have to restrict the information that comes into your mind? You don't think that if Mormonism is true, it's going to be true whether or not you learned this fact, right? Or not. And of course, it doesn't hold up to scrutiny. Never.
Impose hate speech laws and just call it hate speech, and therefore anything that offends me I can define as hate speech and get you punished under the law as a result.
So some things are hate speech, like if you harass somebody who is trans for being trans, it could be hate speech. If you just are like sort of shitty to a trans person because they're trans, I mean, it's not a hate crime on it. I mean, you can be sort of shitty. If you harass them, that's one thing. I don't know. I don't think anti-trans hate crimes get prosecuted very often. I haven't seen a lot of that. I'd love to, though. That'd be all right if trans people got a little fucking balance.
Yeah, I kind of like that thought.
You like that part?
Well, yeah, because
explain.
the reason I say I like that is because what the left is very good at is recognizing how humans actually work. There's something that the left does very well. They're very good at disguising what they're actually doing, because they have this belief, oh, everybody's equality and free and all this nonsense. But if you look at how they actually organize and structure, they are militantly hierarchical. They have deference to power, and they're very obedient. That's the reason why they work so well, is because they're very orderly.
What are you talking? The left is orderly. Who is he talking about? I don't know a single leftist that this describes. It's like fucking herding cats to get leftists all rowing in the same direction. Wow, log into Blue Sky. What is he talking about? Is his idea of a leftist like Pete Buttigieg? Like who? He never understands a thing he's talking about. He just asserts a thing. Shad's going to go, oh, yeah, that sounds like a slight against the group I don't like. I'm going to uncritically agree. Watch. Even the
right on the other end are elitist in theory, but in practice they try to uphold the values of democracy, which is why it doesn't work.
Democracy? They try to uphold the values of democracy. I mean, is he a monarchist? He probably is. He's saying I'm not servile. Actually, the leftists are. I want a monarchy. So democracy isn't a thing that we have. We have like a kleptocracy. So and an oligarchy. And so what happens is you have an elite class of landowners and property owners, which has always been the case in America and in Australia, which is a colonialist enterprise. Anything with any Western nation, really, and even some of the nuns, even some of the other ones that aren't. Like you're just in servitude to a system for some reason. Democracy would be like having actual representation, which would include all groups, not only geographically but demographically, right? So it'd be like a representative group, and you'd see like California, and they would have like geographic representation, and also within that you could do a further breakdown of like if there's any special communities or anything that deserve particular representation. And it could be a very vast and broad thing, but, you know. A parliament. Yeah, but I mean, like, even then, like, I don't know how other parliaments are, but not every parliament is well structured or anything, but yeah. There are no democracies in the landscape that haven't been decolonized. That's probably true.
Because you can't uphold those values. Like you give everyone freedom and everyone can have the little slice of the pie. Like, no, that's not how humans work. How humans actually work is they have a deference to authority, and if you tell them what to believe and obey, they actually will.
That's true to some extent. To some extent. But only like a small extent. And it's through these religious levers and these propaganda levers that'll happen. But what we actually want is for people to stop being able to do this with the consolidation of power, because this guy wants to rule, and really he wants to have a ruler because he thinks that's what brings him stability. But of course what this brings is people who do not wish to be ruled making the attempt at rule unstable. And so what happens is this tension between the people who don't wish to be ruled in the way that you're trying to make them be ruled, and then the people who are obedient, because there is always going to be a subset. But like obviously it's like 30%. You know what I mean? Like it's like about 30%, and right now, based on the structure historically of how things have been, that type of political movement benefits the oligarchs at the top in the capitalist system. And so he doesn't understand that he's just a cuck, but we do. We see him in his little chair over there in the corner while we're out here fucking freedom, and he's just watching us. We're like, freedom, and freedom's like licking your ear. You're like, yeah, freedom. And he like sitting in the corner watching. That's what he's like.
Well,
Especially if there's like a function to it.
This is an aspect of discussion that I actually find quite intriguing, because nearly everything that I like see in life, especially policies and stuff, I always want to pass it through the lens of my own faith and religion.
Shad is so stupid.
And see how it weighs up. That's the
He's
most prominent,
Yeah, that's normal.
Yeah, well, it's the core of my belief structure. And what I find interesting about this idea about imposing
My gender is Knight Templar type shit. I don't even fucking care. If he can self-identify as a Knight Templar. I identify as a smarmy spoon without a spine, and I identify as a Templar. Go for it. Don't mind. Just keep it to yourself.
a moral standard, or when I say imposing,
Shad is also mad because the sword people hate him. Yeah, he is pretty upsetty about that.
there's multiple ways in which something could, be imposed, right? But growing up in my faith, my church, right? The church has always had a very, very strict moral standard, okay? And an expectation and encouragement that if you're a member of this church, you've done something quite significant, because entry into membership is you make a covenant where you will keep God's commandments. That's what.
Listen to how he talks about it. This is how a lot of religious guys talk. They're like, "Oh, I'm in this elite club, bro," and it's like it just sounds awful. Do you have a friend who just gets really jazzed about whatever the next thing is, and then afterwards they get really down on it? He sounds a little bit like this. He sounds a little bit like, oh man, this is the Christmas Adventurers Club. Yeah, the consistent inability to handle criticism is a through line throughout this, big time.
The baptismal covenant is. And after that, there is an expectation that you're going to be keeping those covenants. And so there's actually worthiness interviews that you have with the bishop discussing about how well you're keeping that covenant. You're keeping
worthiness interviews. There's actually worthiness interviews. I think if everyone went through the stressful process of finding out whether or not your soul was worthy, I think that would be good. How about therapy instead? If you can make time for Mormonism, you can make time for therapy. That'd be all right. What if we got these guys some mental fucking health care?
commandments. And then if you transgress sin, a serious one, there are repercussions, but not state imposed or anything like that. The ultimate, penalty is excommunication. And I find that
the only way you're going to get excommunicated is if you leave the church. You could be a fucking pedophile. They won't kick you out.
interesting because excommunication is basically saying, okay, by your practices and the way that you live, you have proven yourself that you are not part of this tribe because this tribe expects a moral standard for you to adhere to.
Oh, weird. Tribalism. I can't believe that this right-wing man would resort to uncritical tribalism as his political point of view. I'm fucking shocked. Guys, it's a fucking disease. It's a brain disease. These people are not free. Look at this. They choose their own fucking servitude. This is genuinely some of the most like distilled worm behavior you could witness between two, presumably human beings.
And if you don't do that, you are not worthy to be a member of it. You can still come. We're going to encourage you to try and live up to that standard again. But this idea of having a moral standard that you expect people to live up to, okay, in my experience throughout my entire life, has been profoundly beneficial for who I am and the individual and the standards that I live by.
Well, yeah, because you're mediocre. Only through the nepotism of this faith structure are you going to be able to have, like, any sort of standing in your community. No one normal would liaise with you, sir. Yeah, that's not happening.
Now, I'm not saying it can't go wrong, where like people can impose a form of unrighteous dominion where they're forcing it too much, and that pushes people away. But the encouragement to always do better and live to a higher moral ideal has been profoundly beneficial in my life. Where the concept of liberalism seems to be almost the antithesis of that, where you have no right to expect anyone to live up to any standard because it's their freedom to live whatever the hell that they want, and it almost.
I disagree. Not violating someone else's freedom is the standard. Which you guys definitely do all the time. Like, you violate this constantly. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's very hard to just mind your own business and also be part of a community at the same time. There's no problem. You can do both. But you don't. Instead, you violate the social contract that we're trying to set forth. That's pretty much where we're going. And really, it's just because we have these cults involved. If we didn't have Christianity, fascism wouldn't be a thing. Not a joke. You can't mobilize these numbers without that kind of mechanism, that kind of tether, I guess, to the center of it. They will not mobilize with you under secular fascism. I mean, they will, but not in the numbers that you need. You need people that are religiously devoted. It can be a cult of personality. So the Trump thing works in two ways, which is why it's effective and bad. Because cult of personality drives some of it, and then the religious aspect drives the other half, right? But without one or the other, you've seen they've never really been able to have quite what they needed until now. Although it will be short-lived, but it's astounding how controlled they want to be, which is so weird.
Destroys the very idea of just objective morality. And if you don't,
there is no objective morality. We're human beings. Human morality exists, and it's clearly subjective. Clearly, you're debating it right now.
Don't even want to believe in objective morality. Just good moral standards that we have found through practice.
You don't have good moral standards, though. For instance, Mormons are like abusive to kids. You know what I mean? Like, it's abusive to teach your child Mormonism. It's abusive to teach your child that they are lesser and sinful and need to be fucking corrected by this hierarchical structure, and that if they're women, they're less valuable, and if they're minorities, they're less valuable. So ridiculous. God's morality. Oh my God. I guess I can kill people sometimes. If God says you can kill people, you can. Which teaches them, of course, if a hierarchical structure says that we can kill someone, they allow it, which is where we're at today. They just excuse bad behavior and literally sin in their eyes, so long as someone within their hierarchy is doing the thing. It's not a big deal. Just controlled.
Benefit society. It seems like liberalism, like when taken to its furthest end, says that is bigotry.
Liberalism? when taken to its furthest end, is a gateway to fascism, essentially. They don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, liberalism. The age of liberalism is over, though, for sure.
Basically. Any thoughts that
I'm going to try to get to 20 minutes.
Share just on what I was talking about here?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think where liberalism goes wrong in the modern world is, okay, no offense to our American counterparts, but it is like it is a very commercialized form of liberalism that America has unfortunately exported, all for the sake of materialism. And I really blame the equality doctrine for this, which is that all differences between people can be boiled down so that we can just make a happy group of consumers.
So your critique is that capitalism is bad? What? Capitalism bad? Oh, it's my stance on kids wanting to explore religion. If I, as a parent, I'm not prompting it. Kids wanting to explore religion is not really a thing. Like what it is like an indoctrinating society due to the normalization around them of the practice. Being curious about stuff that's going on, like being curious about religion. I am too. I'm an atheist, but I'm not curious to practice it. Being taught it secularly is no problem, especially if they're starting to be kids that can like actually understand things. Typically, when kids, especially younger than fucking 10, have any interest in religion is because a grandparent or a cousin or a fucking classmate or a pastor or their parent is telling them they have to. Or ought to, and like, you know, making it a social pressure. So like, I have no problem with curiosity whatsoever. I teach people religion secularly all the time. That's my whole shit. And it's exactly that. Grandparent always is. I'll tell you what. I had an ex who had kids in Boise, where the Mormons were, and her grandparents were Mormon, and they were trying to do the exact same thing. And it was like a little kid, and he was like, "Oh, what's an angel?" And he was saying like, "Oh, you're gonna go to hell for that," or some shit like that. Got it from his grandparents, and then there had to be long talks about like, "Hey, man, it's not normal or real," and had to be discussed with evidence. So I mean, like, I personally educate, because that's my background. So, I mean, like, it really is just like, okay, ask your questions, and here's why it's not real. Like, there's no evidence for angels or whatever the fuck you're talking about. It doesn't matter. Like, you could be like, well, which religion? There are thousands. Is this religion any more true than this religion? Why or why not? And the answer is evidence. That's how you determine it. And guess what? None of the religions have any evidence. We are animals that have evolved on Earth to be burdened with sapience and sentience. And we're on this earth together. So we're just apes trying to learn how to socialize. And that's why, I mean, forever it's just been violent, fearful animals tribalizing up and brutalizing outgroups. And only through collectivization. This literally happened. I mean, you can watch this happen in fucking the city-states of Hellenistic Greece, like Athens and stuff. I was just watching stuff on the Peloponnesian War the other day. Don't worry about it. Some people think, oh, what about the fall of Rome? No, I think about the fucking Bronze Age collapse way more, okay? You see, just like once you collectivize into a space where there's enough numbers of you that agree that this set of principles should exist, we need to be free within this space. It'll happen for you. You'll have to defend yourself, of course. And then eventually, everyone is afforded the stability. Because the reason there's barbarians at all in the world, and there are, is because they don't have the resources they need, or they're trying to get resources to continue a certain lifestyle. ICE is a great example. Like, all of them are poor and or hopeful fucking racists. That's pretty much where they're at. God isn't real. You're trying to dance around the fact that God isn't real. Oh, why? So, well, that's okay. That's okay. You're fresh out of the religion thing. So I mean, it makes sense, because your knee-jerk reaction is like, oh, the default is that God exists and it is harmful. It will hurt them to tell them that their eternal soul is no longer a toy to be played with by an eternal being. Won't it hurt them to learn that they don't have to have the anxiety of hell in their lives? Just tell them as early as possible. Kids are so pliable. Kids are able to learn, and you can tell them, and you might not even know this because you're just fresh out of the religion and you were kept from a lot of the information. Did you know that this universe is fucking billions of years old, like 12.5 or 12.7 billion years old? This Earth is 4.5 billion years old. We can't even comprehend how long that is. That's so interesting. Did you know they just discovered yesterday dark matter and how, like, did you know what dark matter even is? It's so cool. So, like, literally, you could look this up. Bang. A fundamental breakthrough in dark matter. Mysterious dark matter may interact with cosmic ghost particles. Don't worry about what this means. Just know that the universe is large and vast and way, and I cannot stress this enough, way more interesting than any religion has ever described it. It's so much more magical and beautiful and miraculous and real and natural and without any God than any religion has ever advertised. And it's because they didn't have the full set of information. And it's so cool. You can, like... If you grant yourself as an ex-Mormon or an ex-Christian or anybody, if you grant yourself the ability to be excited about the real world and real universe you live in and exchange that for whatever whole feeling you feel like you got from your religion without the weird shit that goes into it, just like really enjoy curiosity of the world you live in, I'm telling you, it's so rewarding. You're literally a member of the universe. Like all of us are. We're avatars of the universe, man. And not in a woo-woo magical way, in a literal way. We are collections of particles made up of the universe, which is everything that we know to exist, experiencing things. And so is a dog and a cat. Like when you realize that all mammals share with you a similar experience, not the same, because we have like this sort of like further ability to understand self and further time and conceive of future actions and like despair over them and shit and calculate. But animals have personalities, they have preferences, they have voices and temperament, and they're all different. Like if you had two different dogs, you know that. If you had two different cats, you know that. If you had two different birds, you know that. They don't have to be mammals. Fish aren't, who knows? They're probably all the fucking same. But like, to some extent, even this dumb floppy-eared son of a bitch out here has a similar experience. And he's my, like, it's not a joke. We are cousins to everybody around here. Like everybody. I'm not trying to make a clip. I'm trying to talk to a Mormon that needs help in my chat. Or an ex-Mormon. A brave apostate that deserves a little bit of attention. But for real, it's not a joke. Like I think there's this mistake this mistaken idea in religious groups because you're told it's true. The atheists or people like that we have like we're depressed because we don't believe in eternal souls or heaven. I can't imagine like if you actually think about the material existence of like I just said, the universe is 12.7 billion years old. The Earth is 4.5, which is a third of that, right? Eternity is infinitely longer than that. Like it's, it is. And so heaven, as described in the Christian Bible and in any Abrahamic religion, and to some extent Mormonism, although they give you a planet with servants and stuff, it's eternal worship forever of a guy who very flippantly orders the murder of people and children and like didn't consider black people whole ass people until like the 80s. You know what I mean? If existence was a day, our species wouldn't be a second old. I know. You'd have to break up a day into 12. Is it 13.85? Oh. 13.7, my bad. Not 12. Even longer. Not even a billion years of God worship. Not even a blink. Gods are new. Farming outdates God by 8,000 years. Did you know that 10,000 years ago human beings learned to farm? Like learned that the grain that we picked up could be put down into the ground and it would grow again? And once we learned that, we learned to settle, and that's where the first settlements came from. It wasn't a fucking ark or Adam and Eve in a garden. We can farm, dude. That's amazing. Did you know that before that, for 200,000 years, we were hunter-gatherers? 200,000 years of anthropomorphically same humans. Like, they're not dissimilar from us. They wouldn't have the language we have because they're, older. But they could learn the language we had if they were taught it. They had the capacity for it. Isn't that fucking crazy? They had each individual group of people had, like, different ways of communicating. Some of them developed proto-writing. We have some of these early examples of, like, seals with, like, different markings on them. And they're not similar. Like, they might be the one of their kind. And then only eventually, after you start to get, like, this working together, then language develops, and it's so cool. And, like, just understanding that, right? So if you can understand that, you can understand, like, anything about the world. Imagine any other system besides humans. And because religious people are so anthrocentric, like, we're always thinking about humans and how central we are to every story, can you try to not centralize humans or yourself in the story of the universe and understand we're just one fucking planet in a fucking sea of other planets? I was talking to the boys earlier, and I was like, man, I really hope somewhere out there, and statistically this is probably true, because life exists in the universe for sure. We just don't know. And the Fermi paradox and time. I hope that someone is, or will, and I bet statistically it has, I bet that there are whole planets that have figured this shit out and are just fucking chilling, dude. They're just fine. Doing a great job. I don't think every single one of them are doing a great job, but I guarantee you that there are some planets that have figured this out. Whole species, maybe even multiple species of sapient, sentient creatures, maybe even better or worse than us, just actually figuring this out. Go to baptizing it. Yeah, that they need Jesus, not their space communism or whatever. Like, if you really understand the human animal, everything is a resource war. We're just scared of other people taking our stuff. That's all it is, and that's all that racism is and has ever been. We don't need more of this. We've done enough. We don't need more of this at all. I don't know how much of the Mormon stuff we're going to cover. Maybe we will. I appreciate you hanging out in the chat, and I hope over time it's continues to be helpful. Not to toot my own horn or this chat's horn, but I and we have dealt with many people leaving their faith over the years, and it's always a good thing. I've never met a person that fucking regretted leaving their religion. That's never happened. The worst thing is that leaving the religion is hard. I've never seen anyone regret the other side of it, though. So you're doing a great thing for your kids and for yourself. As far as those two yokels, to put a cap on that, right-wing men don't know what the fuck's going on. They have no understanding of any concepts. They just say stuff. I think really what it is, part of it at least, is like, it's a bunch of like I mean, look at these guys. It's a bunch of guys that haven't ever really excelled at anything, and they don't have the self-awareness to do so. Like they're not gonna make art. They're not gonna like have happy families. They're not gonna they're just gonna fucking sort of wallow in this, and this makes them feel elite, special. More so because they respect hierarchy, and they think that it helps them get a little bit higher than they would be without it, and they really care about it. It's kind of sad, but I mean, these guys suck, so I don't really feel bad for them at all. But it's sad for everybody else who like really fucking just like falls in line behind it. It's crazy. If we ever make contact with an alien culture, religious people will 100% claim they're demons or worship them. I think you'll have a split. Yeah, I think you'll see a lot of worship. I actually think Independence Day has a pretty good take on it. Like, you'll have cults, for sure. Hierarchy is a good band name. Ooh. You'll definitely have cults. I don't know, just due to the time scale and distance of space, like we said, 13.7 billion, my bad. So 13.7 billion years. We've only been spacefaring for like 50, 60, I guess. And barely, like after post-Apollo is when I think you should consider us spacefaring. And really, we can't even get to another planet reliably. Whatever. We can put stuff in space, spacefaring. Nothing like our seafaring abilities. And even then, we don't know much about the sea. We're crawling out of the dirt. I need to remind everyone that 100 years ago, vaccines came out. 100 years ago, we were 2 world wars ago. Just about. Like, we are barely on... We are the first generation of people to live in any sort of, like, what you could call stability worldwide, and not most... I wouldn't say... Do you think most people have stability? Not in the way we would like it, with collectivized resources. But it's pretty obvious every time we collectivize our resources to make sure that people have necessities, that's good for everybody, and we all succeed. So that's called communism, I guess. I don't really even fucking care what you call it. Yeah, we can land a rotor. We are not spacefaring. At best, we are sending very accurate messages in bottles. We are not capable of, like, traversing. Not only is it a time thing because human lives are so finite and brittle, but, like, I mean, it's just like a resources thing. We just don't have the kind of situation. So I love all of the idea. Every successful tribe was like, think of any city. Like I mentioned Athens earlier, it was just a large gathering of collectivization. They didn't have everything correct, obviously. Rome, same thing, and then they tried to expand and it fell apart. Egypt, Persia, etc. Just keeps happening. Because there is a propensity within an empire or any of those, especially in the Bronze Age or even now, because of the thing I said before, like they're worried about not having their resources, right? And so if you're a greedy former barbarian that now has walls, and you're like, oh, I want more stuff. I need more stuff. We have needs now. I have all these mouths to feed. The other people outside the walls must suffer because we have walls on this side. And that's human psychology. Cassini stuff? Isn't that Saturn or is that a new one? Huygens? What's that doing? Is that talking about is that the moons like you were talking about? Hey chat, we had bingo. We didn't finish the hype train. It could happen. We have a possibility for bingo. If you want, Iron Gullet says it's viable. I'm gonna choose to believe. So what if we do a smoke check? If something happens, something happens. If not, we'll move on to another trash. We could do it. It's on super sale. If you want it. We got close. We almost finished level 5 last time. This has gotten a dingo. Let's go. They have used the dingo card and still gotten it. Which is crazy. Dr. Gamble! I wouldn't hate a personalized one through metamorphosis over time if we got it. 5 pace, get one a Trominator, Nam Dates, the Spectacular, Sammy Shore, Zero Wiseman, and Crimson of Plenty. This guy's gonna walrus? I have no idea. It would probably be his other idiosyncrasies that ran into that kind of stuff. But I can adapt. If we get a walrus, and I think something would go in the space where walrus goes, like before, I mean, I'll click walrus if he does something that deserves it. Like, some guys sit there and goes like, and like snort their fucking nose all gross. So if he does that shit, that's walrus to me. I don't know. I don't know what he could do. Coors Mountain? No idea. He'd go get a Mountain Dew. He could again. Everyone agains. Yeah, but some people again more than others. It's okay if you say again to repeat your actual self sometimes. And then there's the crutch. I can confirm there's a Joker laugh. Oh my god, dude. Coors Mountain equals engaging in vice. Uh-oh. Coors Mountain. Smoke Mountain on your Jingo cards. That's okay. So we're gonna watch this Iron Gullet joint with bingo, or we're gonna watch this Christian without bingo. Your choice, chat. Christians either way. One's longer and has bingo. One is shorter and has no bingo. You'd already be in level 2 if it started right now based on Dr. Gamble's thing. It could happen, dude. It could happen. Yeah, and Dave, very rarely does he actually use again to repeat himself. And one has call-ins. Oh my god, this one has call-ins too from some of your faves. That could be pretty good. But maybe I'll just...
Tired of...
All right, I'm going to start this. If you parachute out, we're doing it. But, I mean... Oh! No
Yes,
packles!
Socialism works!
Give one to War Corp 666. Friend of the show, dude. Did you give that to him on purpose? Or did it just happen? That would be amazing. It's a completed 4. It's on double sale. Because we didn't quite finish level 5, but it was close. It was damn close. And that one's the big one. Completed 4, we do it. I mean, you'd have 6 on the board already. We do it. Couldn't have a non-Catholic family chat. Dr. Gamble did it again. 5 of them going to True Dream Fox. The Animation.
Roosters use their
A broken demo disc. JPEG X-File Fiend. Quebeca. With 312. Dilvio Lalo. 5-piece. Give one of the Mighty Azure. Futter Butter. Promethean Rebellion. So Lupo. And the Juice Main. And it's the best one? We might be done already. Are you done? LaCroix Boy, 5-ace. You want a Yuka chat? Okay, you're very close to done. You want to the real HNIC, Kizmaru, the DK, Luisma, and Apollo. Let's go! Complete level 4 was your goal, and you're 2 away. So there you go. What'd I say? Dr. Gamble, a 10-piece. And Dilvio Lalo's 5-piece. I mean, you borderline got there already. The Juice Man was given one by Dilvia. LaCroix Boy gave 5 more.
Coming home early and seeing you sobbing quietly with a glass of wine. Waiting photos out of
They extended Obamacare to lower premiums again, or what?
everything's alright.
Just now?
I wish we could go back to when our passion
good news.
flowed endlessly every night. We should go
The best part's a random one, so we know he's watching. If the Juice Man is here, I'd love to talk to him about Dave's downfall, if he's into that. Gotta pass the Senate? Oh.
Smoking blunts was a daily routine since 13. I was a fat kid smoking weed.
Hell yeah. There's no way Dave's literally alive right now or watching. It's way too late. He's passed the fuck out in his own puke right now. Chat, we are right there for level 4. That would be your single. I also have a double dingo on offer. If you want a double dingo, it would be a completed 6er. A completed 6er would double that dingus for an hour.
I hope you guys have a contest.
Arax and Silverblood, give one to X3os. That's one of them locked in, dude. Wrong button. That's locked in, dude. All right. I'll get the dingo out. I'll get the dingo out. was 3 hours before editing. Holy shit. That's beautiful, though. That means it must be crisp. It's an Iron Gullet joint, dude. Nice. You better believe Iron Gullet's getting a steak and a joint from me wherever in proximity. Maybe even 2 joints or more. All right, chat. If you want a single, valid. If you want a double, we got it. If you'd like to convert a double into a Gordo as well instead of a 1 hour shitter fest,
Socialism works.
we could do a combo situation. It's up to you. If you want to do a double, but I mean it's opportunity right now. Dr. Gamble, give one to make hell great again. Amazing. Make hell great again. Beautiful. Chat, it's the best part of the song. Or it's about to be. We could get a Doble. He's got your nice single. For the hype train, chat. I appreciate you, chat. Lock it in, your dingus. I suspect, maybe even by the end of this particular episode, we might have a more explicit bingo for them that replaces some Dave things. But I guess we'll see how this guy's temperament is. All right, 90 seconds. If you don't have a subscription and you want one, or even just, you know, maybe you're not even that interested, I'd appreciate it if you're like, hey, I want a subscription to this guy's channel. Someone might give one to you. You can avoid the ads. No, you can't. You're watching an ad right now. They're not hearing me. This is just for us. Never mind. They're in an ad right now. We have a huge cast of characters. Wow. It only has 2 of these freaks. Wow. Have you told them to come to stream?
America keeps the fighting, while Russia keeps on fighting. China
I haven't watched any of these guys.
keeps on giving the gift.
My virginal eyes. They only do call-ins on Saturday? Why? What do you mean? They don't have to do call-ins on Saturday? They have one of them or 2 of them pop up.
Orange man
What do you mean?
came into power.
What do they got going on?
The minutes felt like hours.
All right, chat.
Then the old
Incredible!
man won the election, but the world
Chat, bet your bingo points. Thank you, Donnie. Thank you, Donnie. Agadani. All right, we're gonna call this Hell Dingo. We could call this hello. All right, chat. It's time to predict. Hello or hell no. Hello. Look at that. Wow. Wow. Democracy. Something I presume this guy is opposed to. People are not thinking that this is viable. Iron Gullet said it was. Iron Gullet swore to me.
Nah.
This is a backdoor pilot. Seems risky. Do you not believe Iron Gullet's guarantee that this will be a dingo? Iron Gullet said, I guarantee this will get a bingo, right? I'm pretty sure that's what exactly happened. Don't look that up. I'm not ready for this. Some people think it's going to be good. Let's look at the card. 30 seconds. Rent free. I don't think that's going to involve me. 100% dingo, I'm saying it now. There's a corner rent free. If something occurs to where I think that a rent-free behavior is occurring, though, I'll click this. Like if he's obsessed with Iron Gullet or something. I don't know. Rare W. Okay. Pretends to fuck. Coors Mountain. No. Virtue Signal. Jake tiptoes around TOS. You know what? Cuck. Fuck off. Nose Claw. How much does he really believe? Iron Gullet didn't even bet? Oh, wow. Claim of ethics. Smart. Again, yelling again. Okay, this is pretty. I don't know what Nose Claw or watches an ad would be for this. I guess if he watches an ad or does this, right? He might. Ableism, boring, screams, upset by something reasonable. Fuck it. Do they swear? Bitch, slur, baby mouth, walrus, jackass. Okay. We're doing 1/2 hour. We're doing a 30-minute stint, and then we'll do another 30 minutes, and then we'll finish it, which is 32:31. All right. Let's see. Iron Gullet. Don't worry. Either way, through the course of this, we will have a bingo card specifically for them. I'm a paladin at heart. I believe you. Okay. I'm believing you. Do I need to turn this up? We'll see. This is an Iron Gullet joint. Blame Iron Gullet or praise him. Choose, though, after. An evening with making hell nervous, which I guess is getting a shout out here. Can we make this bigger so they don't? Bang. All right. Perfect. Let's go.
I'm here. Amazing me.
I'm going to turn it up. I'm going to turn it up. Turned.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just got here.
Gay? Non-practicing gay? Ooh, we're getting... Hold on. I should read these. These are character cards. I didn't realize. Let me sip. Character cards. Jeremiah, a child bride with children. He does look young. Was he like 19, 20?
I don't know. I just got here.
Ryan Daniel, gay, non-practicing.
No, Ryan, you've been chomping at the bit to talk to me about... Oh, what's his name? Over in that other country. The latest news story that everybody's been talking about. Do you want to mention it?
You talking about Maduro?
Yeah, Maduro. I forget
he's
name.
He's now in U.S. custody. You know, the American Armed Forces did a fantastic job of apprehending him and his wife. and my hat is off, even though I'm not wearing a hat. Kudos to the men and women of the armed forces.
Virtue signal. Okay. All right. We don't have bootlicker, but that would count. Fascinating. Right wing. Okay.
For a fantastic job they did of apprehending Maduro.
Apprehending. All right. So I don't care about Maduro's well-being whatsoever. What I care about is that without any sort of like it was a unilateral executive decision to take another state's head of state, and now anyone can do that. Like, I guess this guy just feels tough and cool or something, but like China's gonna do that soon to Taiwan. Russia is like emboldened, of course. It's not like Israel hadn't stopped. Israel's been doing that. Like it's just a continued us, obviously, but I mean, so what's to stop a leftist president from like plucking Donald Trump out of Mar-a-Lago with any sort of like worry, other than the United States would be like, "Give us our president back, bro. Give it back right now." I actually don't think they will. You know what? I honestly, frankly, if Donald Trump got abducted today by any other country, imagine the wokest. Imagine if Canada, Justin Trudeau kicks it in, Katy Perry right next to him through the other window, and they subdue Donald Trump from Mar-a-Lago and take him. I don't think they could get congressional approval to extradite the president back. I think right now people would be like, "Fuck him." They'd have a Dude, we should allow referendums. We should have a referendum system. Okay. I don't want to see this guy's face better at all now.
Do you know what I say every time I hear?
You know what? Uh-oh.
Us liberating another country overseas?
Yeah, I do. You told me.
But what I say,
we always
have oil or minerals that we would love to have, and we take control so we can abstract those materials.
True.
Because granted, there are lots of countries that we don't liberate. Why would we liberate this one?
Oh.
And Trump, in the same breath, and I like Trump. I think he's a good guy.
Oh, do you?
And that's not the official opinion of the channel. That's just me.
What?
But
you think he's a good guy? Why? Why do you like pedophiles?
Look at what he says. And he said, "We liberated, this place. We're going to take control of it until it's safe to give control back to them. They have a lot of oil, and we're going to send over our guys to extract it." He said it just like, I'm paraphrasing, but he said it like that. Like,
yeah.
And I was like,
they got oil over there.
Okay.
They got oil. They sure.
Uh-huh.
Sure do. I don't know if you're if you're saying that we liberated them to get their oil. I don't.
I mean, it would look that way.
We liberated them? They're not liberated whatsoever. What are you talking about? They're being installed with a leader?
Hey, every single time that I've done the research, I found this, that we extract something from them like that. Every single time I've done it. Is there a time that I've not researched and maybe they were different? Maybe. But every time I've researched, it's been that way. Every time.
Well, hey, you never know.
I'm clicking Rare W. I'm clicking Rare W for that. That's crazy. I like Jeremiah more than this guy, but I mean, I still think he sucks. Uh-oh.
I mean, in World War II, we liberated a lot of countries. I don't think we took their resources.
What? In what? We liberated who?
I don't know. We did too. I mean, what are we doing in Ukraine right now?
Yeah, we got mineral rights in Ukraine. That's for sure.
France?
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to remember with
I probably already don't like them.
Biden in charge, we didn't. With Biden, we were like, do whatever you need to do. Here's a bunch of money. Is that much better? I don't think so.
And by the way, I'm not fucking sad.
So you're on the side of imperialism rather than aid. Just a dumbass. Yeah. I love the sad frameless mattress on the ground over there in Jer's room. Well, apparently this is his child's room next to the fucking fuse box.
At least we're now making a deal with them. We're trading.
Why is his child's room next to the fuse box?
And there's nothing wrong with profiting off of good work.
There's nothing. What is the good work?
I just
listen
I
to how
hate how we're like, oh, we did charity. Not if you're making a bunch of money off of it. That's called a deal. Now, to answer your question, what did I hear today from the pastor? We talked a lot about honoring parents. Children obey your parents.
This guy really a lot.
Parents, but also how adults are to honor their parents. How even if you were sexually abused or if your parents treated you very horribly,
what?
To still honor them. To still
I would just click pedo here, frankly, but defends pedophilia is not on my bingo card. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. You do not have to hand it to pedophiles. Yeah, it's concerning that you say he has children.
to love them and respect them. Not necessarily obey because you're your own man at that point, but to still treat them with that kind of love. And when people ask, to say that this is what God would want and that they're going to face God's judgment later.
Okay, so this is why religion is bad. Another good example. It's not the only reason, but it's another reason. The abdication of responsibility to like mete out actual, we'll call it justice in this case, but consequences for actions. God doesn't sort it out. They just die a pedophile and don't ever have to experience anything else again. Meanwhile, the victims of pedophilia have to deal with a life of pain until hopefully they can get some sort of like help with whatever damage has been done. So like, I disagree. I don't think you just wait for God to sort it out. I think it's ridiculous. I think this is absolutely ridiculous.
And by doing that, you might get your own parents saved.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what my pastor talked about. And I will say
that's what your pastor talked about? Your pastor told you to uncritically support pedophiles? That sounds weird. Why is he conditioning you to absolve pedophiles already? I wonder what he could be conditioning his parish for by trying to sanitize pedophilia and forgiveness towards pedophiles.
Say, I listened to the sermon and received all that information and could go on more while playing Minecraft.
You're playing Minecraft during the service.
Yeah, my wife wanted to stay in the car, and our church is getting crowded, so I didn't want to stay in the actual auditorium. So we popped onto Minecraft, and I had started building a bamboo automated farm. So that's like engineering and building and designing, and at the same time...
Oh, Minecraft is engineering, building, and designing. That would be like using a CAD program while listening to the sermon, not playing Minecraft. Minecraft is like playing with blocks. Okay? Even if you use the special blocks to make them do stuff. Even if it's real and even if it's real good. I saw someone on Little Big Planet once with the tools on there make a working calculator. That was pretty interesting. A working calculator, can you believe that? Like a manual one. Isn't that crazy? Anyway, that was still playing a video game, not engineering.
I had my pastor on the radio.
Dude, I actually think Christian Minecraft server, the meme came from, like, Christians, like, literally indoctrinated kids with video games. It's not a joke. They do it still. Fortnite, Minecraft, fucking Call of Duty. They do this shit. It's not funny. They really do go intentionally to do that.
Is 101.1.
Not all of them, obviously, but there are enough of them.
And I was listening to that at the
We've seen their YouTube channels.
same time, and I still retained it all. ADHD brains for you, you know?
So
He's so smart.
you guys stayed in the car during the service?
Yes, in the parking lot.
Well, what's the point in even going?
Because afterward, we went back in the building and we fellowshipped with the people that were close to us.
So every time I've talked about this, I've been right, and I think everyone should just like really, really make sure. Like every good thing about any of their church stuff has been secular. Like they just like hanging out with people. That's fine. That's normal. Nothing wrong with wanting to hang out with some people and spending time being like, hey, ooh, catching up. Hey, how you doing? Cool.
Okay.
Churches aren't for messages. You can get a message over your phone. Churches are for gatherings of the saints. It didn't say in the Bible, don't forbid the passing of the message. He said, don't forbid the gathering of the saints. And that's what I was aiming for.
I love that he's like, well, I skipped church to play video games, and here's my passage in the Bible where I interpret that as excusing the behavior, which is just child stuff. I mean, this is like, you were right to say this is a child with children. He is a baby child. How old is he? Like, he cannot be much older than 19. I would be shocked if he could legally drink. Shocked.
And plus, you did.
He's 22. Holy shit!
Put your kids in the nursery, right?
Oh yeah. Well, we also got the daycare.
Yeah. I can see now, but that time that last time I went to your church, and I was like, where are they? They were in the car. I'm like, why are they in the car?
That's because Mr. Ryan over here constantly wants to interrupt the service, and he doesn't understand silence during the service.
I don't interrupt the service.
Well, I tend to think very differently.
What is this?
Maybe I have a couple times.
For example, the devil believes God exists. The devil does not believe upon Christ to save him. Repentance or being saved is...
I'm clicking boring.
To turn from rejecting God to accepting God as Savior.
For this guy in particular, he's offered nothing.
In receiving that gift. Now, yes, you have to believe in that gift, but you have to accept that gift. There's a good way to measure if you're gluttonous. Look at your body, and if you're overeating, it'll probably show.
Well, Ryan, that sucks. Now, is Ryan going to be like, nuh-uh, I'm just old? Well, that sucks, Ryan. Jeremiah, when he becomes 35, sudden glutton. Ableism? No.
Now, that's not to say that's for everybody, because there are some people who are very skinny and they are still gluttonous.
Oh, okay. So suddenly the thing I just said is stupid as fuck. By the way, I just said something that I don't agree with actually upon even a second of further introspection. So here's my qualifications.
As Tim covers in that video. But look at your body, and it'll kind of be a judge if you're overtaking, especially if you're older. Intricate?
No, this is body shaming, not ableism. This is already a square.
But poorly designed cooking videos.
I don't know what that means.
You're going to have to describe to me what that means.
Someone in chat saying, hey, do you have poorly designed cooking videos?
Intricate, like detailed.
Yeah, it's specific.
But poorly designed.
We're looking for a specific guy.
Is that a thing people are doing? Poorly designed cooking videos? Is that entertaining to somebody?
I don't know. I certainly can't do a cooking video because I can't cook worth, I can do eggs and that kind of thing.
We got people.
I'm useless. I'm a useless man. My wife pretty much takes care of me like a big baby, if you ask me. I can't really do anything for myself. Cool. Baby mouth. That's crazy.
Wanting us to open the lines tonight. You know, I did think about that. Why do I keep getting adults with imaginary friends on my feed? No matter how many times I click no, not recommended.
Oh no, he's getting owned. Is that you guys or someone else? Oh no. Cope in the lines. I don't work on Saturdays. Tell one of these guys to come through on a weeknight and we'll talk. I'm down with that.
Or not interested. Interesting.
What are you reading?
It's a comment 8 hours ago on one of the videos we had.
He just randomly read an 8-hour-old video comment? Wow.
He's pretty much saying why, like God, for example. Why do we have God as a friend? You know, I'd say a couple of things. One, God might be calling out to you. He might be exposing it to you.
The older-looking guy is gay, remember? Does he have a husband? But he says he's not practicing. So what's he do? He just fucking orders out every day? I guess. Or maybe he just eats eggs. Couldn't possibly learn.
And two, the internet is really good at trying to make you angry. If it makes you angry, it'll keep playing it. So, I mean, I will say there's a little bit of algorithm there.
Yeah. So are they saying why do they keep seeing our video?
You think the algorithm is the comment is the algorithm? No. Stop. That's what? You getting a comment for the content you put out is not the algorithm at play.
Videos being recommended in their feed, in their
Ours and other people's.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, well, you know,
I think it was these guys.
God could be trying to reach some of these people who don't believe in him.
Yeah, God might be calling you. I'll send that as a message.
Okay, so what if atheism is calling you to believe in it?
Yeah,
That's probably
I think that God could be using YouTube. God is definitely using YouTube to reach out to people who don't believe in him and don't know him.
All right, if you're a Christian and you have some curiosity, I would love to talk. That'd be amazing. He doesn't realize the commenter was talking about him. Yeah, I don't think they're very literate.
He's definitely doing that. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, it's going all right. You know, I feel like I can have a good conversation with you two. The only reason I've ever been like rude to you guys is because there's been like slur slang. There's been like some real weird racism when I brought up Black Christianity and how I was raised, stuff like that. That's the only reason I ever get aggressive, right?
Yeah, and Dustin has known to say a few of those things, and he's actually working on getting back in, so we may have to speak fast.
Okay. I'll try to speak back. I'll try to
We
speak
have to
fast.
speak fast because I allow slurs in my Christian chat.
I'll try to speak fast.
No, don't worry about it. I got in for a while now.
Okay. Like, see, we're off to a better conversation than we were the last couple of times. So this isn't, again, not attacking you, Ron.
Again! No, I'm just kidding.
But I know that you've talked about it before.
Doesn't count.
About how you've had your own difficulties with you're gay, correct? Or you?
I am happy.
Oh, I'm not saying you're not happy. I'm asking.
Well, I mean, if you ask me if I'm gay, I mean, the answer is yes, I'm happy. Because that's what the word means.
Okay.
Wow. Wowzers.
Fair. That is one origin of the word.
But little heads up, and Ryan, I will give you the ability. Ryan's a little touchy on this subject, everyone.
Okay.
Why is Ryan touchy on his sexuality? It's normal to have a sexuality. I'm not busy this Saturday. Maybe that's what I should do this Saturday. Maybe actually because unless our plans don't fall through. What time on a Saturday?
Okay, no, that's fair.
He's afraid of you attacking in bad faith in this topic, probably.
No. I would never do that. Look, I am in all honesty here, I am a bisexual man. I've had relationships with men and women, and any of those who
gay, bro,
who have identified in between. So that's why I'm asking. You know, And I know Ryan, you don't have that history on me. That's why I'm trying to preface that. Right.
In the past, I did have sexual relations with other men, yes.
Okay, so you're gay, yeah. That's okay.
Also women.
Okay.
But
bisexual then?
Now that where I am now, I feel that God has basically gotten me right. I don't believe I am committed to never again having sexual relations with anyone unless I marry a woman.
Wow. Quit bragging. All right. But you don't want to be with a woman.
So if I don't marry a woman, then I plan to be celibate for the rest of my life.
Okay. Sorry, you guys. I realize you guys also can't see my face. I'm trying to turn my virtual camera. I apologize. So you guys understand that I'm not like being sarcastic or anything here. I know I could sound like it. That's not my intention, right? So do you mind if we explore this a little bit, Ryan?
Sure.
Okay.
God, what a leftist. Oh my God. Consent? Oh, yuck. Ugh. Terrible. This is woke. Okay.
Because again, I just want to preface this that I've had relationships as well. I know kind of how that struggle can be, kind of how it can be very are you in the South? Please don't dox yourself.
Okay, so we're a third of the way through our selection and it does seem viable. If we clicked 5 every 10 minutes, that'd be 15 of these, and that's very possible bingo stuff. So I don't know. All he has to do is yell, scream, and pretend to fuck, and we're in there. I don't know. Again, could just start fucking flinging out. I have no idea.
I want to know, are you in the South?
Oh yeah, I live in Georgia. I don't mind telling you that.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure because I spent.
Can anyone hear the name Georgia like that and not go in their heads? Georgia. Can you help it? Georgia. You can't help it.
A little bit of time in Georgia during all my times moving around.
It's the only thing that state's ever been good for.
So
and biscuits and hoe cakes.
Say that you've had these relationships and God has influenced you in such a way, do you feel like you're a mistake, Ryan?
No.
Ooh, interesting. Why?
No. Okay. But you've had these urges or you've had these relationships. Do you feel like they are wrong in the eyes of God?
I believe that God designed sexual relations to be between a man and woman who are married to one another. And
who are married to one another? Why?
In the past, when I was living in sin, I did have those kinds of relationships. But once I got right with God, he made sure that I knew that I can't have those relationships anymore. I can't have those kind of relations anymore.
So, like, can you steel man me for a second as a Christian? They never can. But imagine, can a Christian for a second imagine that they're wrong? Okay? God not real, fedora tipped. Okay? I'm right. God not real. We are physical bodies and we do not have souls, and when we die, that's the end of our experience. Do you think it is a good use of your experience in either sense, but especially in mine, in a materialist world? Do you think it's a good use of your experience to forego quality, loving relationships with other human beings? Why would a God of love make you have love, including sexual love, including desire? But why would he make you love men? I don't battle with this. Reverse Pascal's wager. Well, they should really consider their one life. Jake's wager. You have one life, and it is and all the evidence we have is that it's materially one time, and that's it. So,
not unless I marry a woman. I can't have those relations with men. I can't have them with women unless I marry one.
Okay. And we're like we are at the understanding that God doesn't make mistakes if we take your doctrine at face value from what you guys say, correct? So I guess I'm wondering why you feel like that it is only under this way that you can have a relationship with a woman in marriage, when God doesn't make mistakes. If you are gay, you were born gay, for example.
No, not necessarily. We're all born sinners. Okay, we're all born into a fallen world that has been inundated with sin. So we're all born with a proclivity to sin. And we will. I mean, and there's all kinds of different sins out there.
Can I say something for a moment for both of you to think about?
Oh my God, no!
Yeah,
sure.
Right,
God damn
Some
it.
people are born
This guy was talking. Whatever.
really messed up. And I'm not talking about in the head. I'm not trying to be rude towards anybody. I'm saying like they're missing limbs. They're missing half their brain. They have something horrible to them that's messed up.
Absolutely. So you're going to hear my dog barking. Sorry.
Yeah, let's just say to Christians.
I don't know what he's barking at.
Does God make a mistake with those? Or is it because we live in a fallen world that problems happen? That's just my thought process. I'm going to let you get back to Ryan. I want
So a fallen world is God's thing, though. I guess ableism, but like.
I would like to explore this with you too, right, Jeremiah? Because if people are born these ways with disabilities, for more information, I used to be a teacher, I used to be a private investigator, and I work currently with folks with disabilities. A lot of them are also religious. They want to go to like religious practices, and I help facilitate that with them. So if we operate on this idea that God does not make mistakes, He intentionally designed these people to be born this way. It wouldn't matter if we are in a fallen state because He still designed everything. He's still omnipotent. So He already knew that you were going to be gay, or you have disability, or you're going to be born in an alternative way, as a more respectful way to put it. Then I guess the question is, I don't want to say then the people around you is a better way to put it. So wouldn't He want you to accept these portions of yourself?
Well, Jesus said, if any man will follow me, let him deny himself, take up his cross and follow me. And so, if people say, be true to yourself, well, Jesus said to deny myself.
Do you think that is fucked up? Because I do. Yeah, I think it's bad for a man to say, ignore how you want to live your life and live it based on how I say you should. Yeah, that's bad.
Basically,
like Christians hear that and they don't think that sucks.
Just to make sure, we're going off the King James version of the Bible, correct?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Pretty much. Because it's pretty much because if I think it sounds like I don't agree with something in the Bible, I'll think of a different thing I do.
I'm not trying to interrupt. I just want to double check.
In order to live in Christ, we have to die to our old selves. And so my old desires, my desires that I did have, I have to die to those desires in order to be a new creature, a new man in Christ.
That sounds like transition to me. But way worse.
He basically, it's kind of like
I have to be a new creature? Like, why though? Why? I don't understand.
Military. You know how the military will break down the old recruit and build him into the soldier that they want him to be.
The soldier. Okay, so do you hear that? So that's bad. That's a bad thing.
When you come to Christ, you come as you are, but He doesn't leave you that
Nirvana.
way. He begins to build you into the man or woman that He wants you to be. And so we all come broken. All of us are broken before we come to Christ.
Disagree. I think you're broken after Christ.
We're broken, and then we
after Christ. That's a really good name.
Come to Him, and He begins to fix us, basically, to make
but
us.
I'm not trying to fight here. Okay. If you are supposed to accept yourself, because we're not supposed to be unquestioning servants, are we? If so, why give us free will unless you believe that God should allow people to fall? Because again, He already knows who's going to fall and who's not going to fall. Yeah. So there is no, in my mind, if this is the case, then there is no purpose in accepting or not accepting. You just got living in a neutral state in your natural self, be it a person with disabilities, be it gay, be it atheist, be it somebody who believes in the Bhagavad Gita, anything else like that. It is ultimately pointless to sit there and go, well, I shouldn't be gay. I shouldn't love who I love. Because God already knows if you're going to ascend or not, if you're going to go to heaven or if you're going to go to hell.
You want to speak, Jeremiah?
Yeah, please. I don't want to be just me just ranting at you guys.
No, yeah, you're fine. You're doing good. And I don't want to overspeak Ryan, which is a tendency of mine. So I'm going to raise my hand and Ryan can call on me just so we're tag teaming well. I would say
tag teaming.
First, Ryan's remark of saying we're all sinners and God asked us to die to ourselves is genius. Thank you, Ryan. Secondly, I'd say just because you know you're going to fall and just because you know you're going to sin doesn't mean you should just accept that part about you. And I'm just going to get into sin in general because having homosexual tendencies is just as bad as having any other sinful tendency. I want to
Can I ask why, Jeremiah?
I'll
Okay. I'll ask you why after. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was talking to a homosexual. They said I'm gay, and I pointed out that was wrong. And we moved on from there, and I said we're all sinners. Guess what? I've sinned too. I deserve hell just as much as anybody else.
So you're a gay boy too? Gay equals murder. So you're gay? You're just as gay as Ryan? Is what you're saying? We are all sinners. So I don't think it's sinful to love anybody at all. How could love be sinful? If you happen to also share sexual reciprocity, then that's amazing. That'd be wonderful.
Even though I have other sins. And so my whole thing is I was born with sexual desires that were straight, but still very incorrect. I'm addicted to porn, and I have all these other problems. And I'm willing to admit that.
Great.
So you could ask me, well, shouldn't you just acknowledge that you have those desires and you should just accept it? We should die to our flesh. If we want to become better, we should do what our Father asks us so that we can be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Okay, it's not unhealthy to come.
I'm gonna say no, and I mean that respectfully, because saying that sin or homosexuality, something that is completely normal in nature that we have observed in nature, is as bad as, for example, murder, is something that doesn't really add up in my head, right? Because if you sin, you just sin. It's done, right? That we're all understanding that one, correct?
Yes. Then once you sin, you are deserving of hell.
Yeah. So I
He's like a little kid explaining the rules. He's like, yeah, and then if you do that, you deserve hell. And we're like, buddy, but that doesn't make any sense. That's a stupid rule. This doesn't seem like a fun game. And he's like, yeah, but you did it, and so hell time. And it's like, but would a loving God consider loving someone as bad as killing someone and hating them? And you have to say that your loving God considers those acts comparable. And so when you do that, it makes me think that you're fucking crazy. It makes me think that your God didn't exist and was instead the creation of some fucked up Bronze Age traumatized people. Because it was a fucked up time. They literally saw people getting executed all around them. And once you believe it, it was because of fascism and religion and capitalism and imperialism colliding together. That's crazy that all those things cause people to be bad to each other. Again, put it on your jingos.
I personally, and a lot of people who are more secular than I am, a lot of people who weren't born in Christianity or anything else like that, understand that comparing who you have a relationship with, be it straight, be it gay, be it with somebody who's non-binary, being compared to murder does not make any sense. It does not line up logically. There should be no reason why they are on the same level. It happens in nature between dogs and lions and dolphins and octopi and everything else. The taking of a
flowers
life does not equate the same as holding the hand of someone you love. And if that's the case, why would I want to be with a God that made me this way and then tells me that if I am this way is going to throw me into hellfire?
So my answer, and then I'll let Ryan answer, is because one, God wants us to do what is healthy for us and what is good for us, and natural desires aren't always healthy.
I don't think God does want what's healthy for you, though. No, he doesn't. He doesn't care. Being gay is healthy. It's what's healthy is to love people. What's unhealthy is to be antisocial.
Actually want to get high, have sex with as many people as possible, and do everything wrong to myself. God wanted to be healthy, live a long life, and do all these good things that won't hurt me. So
So denying science and reality will hurt you. Like when you inevitably deny your own child health care because you're going to pray the fucking disease away instead, that's not extending anyone's life, you know what I mean? When you're like, "Oh, I'm not going to get vaccines," and then you fucking die dry drowning in a hospital bed of a preventable illness and spreading it to some of your community members that you love going to church with so much, and you look across and you see, "Oh no, Brenda, that's Tom's wife. I coughed on her at church and now she's dying too. I'm listening to Tom cry. My wife is crying. We're coughing to death and we die." And then I find out I go to hell because that's technically murder, bro. God doesn't care. That's murder, dude.
So your loving father.
All right.
Do you mind if we deep dive? Do we mind if we deep dive on that, Jeremy?
Brenda!
Or Jeremy, excuse me.
Then Ryan got to answer, and then we'll go back.
Okay. We'll deep dive after that because I feel like this is a good subject we can deep dive on. Go ahead.
And then the other thing I want to clarify.
wants to come in?
I want to clarify, Ryan, if I can finish.
Okay.
The other thing
Can I finish?
is Jesus took care of that second part, the whole damnation part. He died on the cross so that we didn't have to, so that we could live in heaven forever with him.
Why is God powerless to do that without that going on? That seems like a really complex ritual wizard spell. Why is God limited by the magic rules that you would make for like a demon sacrifice in a game? Can Christians ever explain this part? I would love to understand why you think. Okay, so what mechanism did that?
So no, it's not over once you said.
So what we're kind of talking about is equating natural urges like homosexuality, even heterosexuality, to something similar to murder. In fact, a lot of these things are all kind of.
So Ryan's a murderer.
Not quoted. Are all not what's the right word? Not analogous. On the kind of like the same level. Once you sin, you're kind of borked. You know. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure that I'm respectful of your guys.
Yeah, lying is essentially going to get you the same punishment as being a serial killer or being Hitler.
Yeah, and in that view, that doesn't line up to me because one of these things is just you being yourself, being the way that you were, in your guys' view, designed by God, while the other one is something that actively harms other people around you.
I know what you're saying, and I used to think that way. I don't believe that God actually makes anyone to want to have sexual relations with the same sex or. But
God,
part of us being in a fallen world, in a sinful world, that's just one of the many ways that we are broken. I was broken in such a way that I wanted to have sexual relations with other men, but I came to God and repented. I gave him my life and he began to fix me. He began to fix what was broken about me. The Bible,
on that same subject,
that was part of my brokenness.
There's just no way that you don't still think guys are sexy. I think fixing the parts that are broken, like allowing me to deny myself physical or social intimacy with another man. You know what I mean? Yeah, he does seem a lot of straight Christian men seem gay to me as well. So, my gaydar for Christians is all borked because I think mine is just I assume there's some kind of queer that they have not confronted because they seem to like really grip onto this part of the belief, which is very strange to me because if you didn't give a shit about your own experience because they're so selfish otherwise, why would they be so fucking concerned with anyone else's? You know what I mean? Like if you actually don't give a fuck what somebody else has got going on, you're just like, okay, I'll let God sort it out. That'd be whatever. That would be one thing. I would still think you're a fucking harmful idiot, but like you don't. You try to legislate that they have to be Christians. So I think you should eat shit.
I understand. On that same subject, why would your God want to, one, equate the way he made you to murder, And then
Well-
2, why would he design you and just things in nature to also be like myself, also be attracted?
Should have accused Ryan of murder immediately, by the way, with his dick. That would be the classy move, person.
To the same sex.
Actually, he seems like a bottom, frankly.
That's just part of our fallen world that we live in. People murder people because of the fact that we live in a fallen world where people are broken, and so they commit that act.
People are broken by what? Sinful acts by what? By what mechanism was sin created? Adam and Eve. By what mechanism was Adam and Eve created? Well, God, but he wasn't responsible because it was the garden. Okay, who created the garden and put the apple there and created the people without the knowledge of good and evil? It just, I go back to that because it's really hard for them to answer, and I feel like that question almost more than any of them, the Genesis stuff, it really, if you're at all curious, you're like, that really doesn't make sense. Horses like apples, but Eve too liked that apple. No, dude, I think Eve, centaur. Think about that. How'd she fucking reach that high-ass apple? Centaur. And then we fell from the horse and we're given legs. Eve was she was a centaur, not a horse. What the fuck? That's racist, dude. That's fucking racist, dude. What the fuck? You think every centaur knows every horse? And is a horse? Not even close. Centaurs love apples, though. That is not racist to say, because Eve did it, and that she's the mother of them. You're blowing my fucking mind. I know, right? And we invented centaur racism all at the same time. The world doesn't need more racism. We're scrubbing that.
Just as people have sexual relations outside of God's ordinance, because they're broken. I mean, people steal, people lie, people.
Please don't invent slurs for the fucking centaurs. God damn it. No. Stop. Please. The white urge to invent a slur. I don't even know if you're white. I'm going to blame it on whiteness no matter what. I don't even know.
People disobey.
Stop it.
God's
iron gullet. Fuck no.
Way of us living, because we're all
done.
broken. Yeah, I mean, there's just different ways that people's brokenness manifests itself.
Apparently, the brokenness is manifested in both of these men's brains. That's sadly the most common type of injury.
I don't. That's kind of why I'm asking the question, because you're saying they're all equal, but.
Well, sin is sin. Any sin.
But if I just assert it to you multiple times, don't you understand? They don't even. Christianity has robbed these guys of understanding that they're not making an argument. They're actually brain dead. I don't think either of them have what it takes to do the thinking right now. It's going to have to be like an old jalopy, like you're going to have to fucking bang the rust off of it for it to get going.
Will send you to hell, separate you from God, and we have to have the blood of Christ to cleanse us of the sin in our lives. We have to accept the death, burial, and resurrection of Christ.
Mm-hmm.
He died in our place.
I might end up
he was sinless, yeah, and we required a sinless God to. I guess you.
I might end up giving a better.
He can't even describe it. We needed it to, like, you didn't even have to ask. Okay, so what mechanism made that happen? And we're like, well, he's sinless. Okay, why does that matter? So we just get another sinless person. Well, they would have to be immaculately conceived. Why? Why? Because of original sin? Why does that apply? Can we clone someone that's not part of the genome? Can we build a genetic person that's outside of heritage that will be the Jesus? It's the prophecy, bro. Okay. Well, now you have to give evidence. Jesus was sinless but traveled around with his 12 boyfriends. Well, husbands. Asura. Goddamn. It's called a 5-head, brother. Do you believe in Christ, Asura? Are you a Christ believer?
End up giving a better answer.
Go ahead, Jeremiah. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, the reason I'm
Hell no? All right, dude. Hell yeah.
asking Ryan is because Ryan has these lived experiences, right, Jeremiah? Jeremiah has other things that I would like to deep dive on if given the chance at some point in the future. But the reason that I pointed to Ryan isn't trying to catch Ryan in anything, but to get Ryan to kind of explain his worldview and how he feels and why he believes what he believes, and then have a conversation about that, because that's kind of the only way we can like dissect it, you know?
Yeah. So I'm just gonna get to the answer because we have other people in here and we gotta cut it short. If Ryan disagrees with me in anything, he can say so, and I don't mind giving him back the floor. But I just started seeing him kind of needing to generate an answer, and so I have something I would like to say. If that's okay.
I saw him needing to generate an answer. I already had a pre-programmed answer due to my religious indoctrination. So I would like to say that God so loved the world that he sent his only begotten son. So what mechanism does God require in human sacrifice for him to alleviate sin? Why is God powerless to alleviate sin? Your family's very religious. Well, you should be an atheist, but that's okay. What makes you agnostic, Asura? I specialize in making people atheists. And woke atheists. Yeah, for real though. Like, there's no reason to be agnostic. There's no evidence to suggest that there's like a conscious thing that exists that created the universe. Like, there's no evidence whatsoever to suggest that there's a prime mover that like made the universe pop into place 13.7 billion years ago. Chad. I guess fear of what? Because hell and stuff. That's what these guys are scared of. They're scared of hell too. Because hell doesn't exist either. That's just like a Christian notion. Like, it depends on which religion you were born into, I guess. Typical shit. That sucks, man. I genuinely, I'm not joking. I actually do deal with people leaving their religion and being atheists all the time. Like, it's not a joke. Atheist Bible study and shit like that. Yeah. They're making hell new. They're fucking terrified, dude. So anyway, there's like no evidence to suggest any of this stuff exists, and they're all just like, these people follow literally Bronze Age thoughts of guys that were traumatized by like being fucking.
Socialism works.
Like, literally, think about it. If your whole life was wandering around the desert and avoiding people with literal sharpened bronze knives trying to take your shit all the time. That's their life. So they go, okay, well, this war god helped us push back this group of people, and life sucks. And when that flood happened, it felt like the whole world flooded, man. HQT Adam, thanks for giving a sub to this guy. War in pants. Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. So, obviously, it's untrue. And a lot of people are conditioned just to think, oh, well, there must be something out there because these people believe it. There's not a reason. That's crazy. What a silly thing to think. Like, if you could take a step back and see it like I do, anybody, it's like, imagine Harry Potter became a new religion. You know what I mean? And you're just like, holy shit. These people believe in this lady's story, and they just won't stop. They just won't stop. They can't see that there's no evidence for this. It's clearly fiction. It's crazy, dude. Your mom wears pants now? Oh, shit. What a progressive religious woman. I'm proud of her, dude. I think genuinely, though, like, your mom and any woman that's in religion is oppressed, and it's sad, kind of. She's sinning now? Is she out of the religion? That'd be sick as fuck. Turf ass. All right, we're going to keep going.
So, basically, when it comes to the understanding of why is lying like murder,
Why is lying like
something
murder?
that
So when, the Christian mind is like, why is lying like murder? It's not. It isn't.
need to get right there is it's not that they are equal,
Uh-huh.
because there are different levels of hell, and it's talked about how some people will be, judged even more harshly for certain things.
Are you referring to Dante's Inferno, which isn't Christian canon but fanfic?
And that's different. But
there's actually there's no biblical reference to like the types of hell you'll experience.
the other thing is that going to heaven specifically requires perfection. God is perfect. What God builds is perfect.
If God was perfect, why'd he make you gay, Ryan? Why is Ryan gay if God is perfect? Because it's a fallen world. Why is God's world capable of being fallen if God is perfect? Oh, sin? Satan? Why did a perfect God make the mistake of sin and Satan? Well, I don't know either, dude. You ever thought about these questions once? No, of course not. It's so crazy. Like, this is what anyone would do when they're reading a book. They'd be like, oh, there's fucking plot holes, bro. Because of course you would. You'd be like, well, this doesn't really fucking make sense. As you describe more of the world to me, and I learn more about it, further and further we get away from your explanation of how things work. That's certainly coincidental, isn't it? Like, could they be wrong? I don't know.
Created us, we were perfect. So you have to be perfect.
We were perfect, but also we sinned so bad, everyone else sins. You're considered filthy forever because the most perfect people that ever existed immediately sinned. How do you fucking live with yourself? I would pull my own fucking brain out of my head. Like, it's just not reasonable. How do you not listen to the words you say and then read them in the order that you say them and then go, huh, and then think about those words and their implications and the logic of them? Am I alone? Am I alone on this fucking space rock? Clearly not.
Enter. If you're not perfect, you go to the only other place in
No,
existence
I'm yelling. That's a jingo.
at that time, which will be hell. And that's not a good place to be. The other thing I wanted to say is, why did God create people with desires like that? He didn't. He created perfection.
We could play a side piece jingo, too. That'd be fun.
Perfection messed up because they were beguiled. They were convinced otherwise by the serpent. And then that
convinced by the serpent. Perfect people. Convinced by the serpent.
Messed up perfection. Then created...
if I had dumb as shit on this bingo, it would be so good.
Offspring that weren't perfect. And then God, yes, allowed, not created perfectly himself, but allowed other mistakes from that point.
Mistakes. Created... Didn't allow them. Created them. Literally created them.
So Jeremiah, folks with disabilities are perfect?
No.
But they're just more broken? Sorry, I didn't mean to speak over you. I'm trying to understand. So they're more broken?
We're all messed up and broken in our own ways. Some people more than others. It's not necessarily evenly spread. No.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So,
okay. Just wanted to.
Thank you for your time.
I'll jump on out of here real quick. So let me just do this last little bit.
Dude, are we not going? Iron Gullet promised with his whole chest that this was viable for this card. Now, I'm not going to deny if it gets spicy later, it might actually happen.
I would love to talk to you two again.
I already
you guys
ableism, but
are the more respectful people I want to talk to. So just a quick little spiel. I still cannot understand why a perfect God would design, and who knows everything, would design homosexuality and bisexuality and all that to be completely natural in like the world around us, even back in the biblical times, if you want to say that. I don't believe that any of you guys are broken. I believe that you are all genuinely trying to get through the world, and this is how you have found a way to cope with issues in yourself.
I think it's everything but nose claw. Having watched this, you think they'll do everything but nose claw in this? Man.
And that's not a negative thing. I believe that you should also accept these portions of yourself and then work on them, like you said, to be perfect. If you feel like you need heaven as a guideline, as like a guidance, that is fine. You guys really didn't address the why for my question, but that's okay because this was a more respectful conversation that I've had the previous times. I hope to talk to you guys again soon. Like, genuinely. So
I can tell your bar is on the fucking floor.
I'll let you guys go. I will probably be lurking.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
The first thing I got on was to ask about trans kids, and I'm going to provide that statement in a much more respectful way. And then we tried to get into logic and reason and trying to define those. And just to start off with the bat, we can get into that again, but I find religion to be very, very reasonable and quite natural, actually.
Disagree. Some things will have a bit more lax since they don't swear. I don't think it's reasonable. I do think it is natural in that what humans' proclivity is to make a story out of events, whether it's accurate or not. That manifesting into religion is a psychology thing that makes some sense, but I don't think it's reason. It's emotion based. It's imperfect sensory information being relayed imperfectly with futile devices like words to do them. So everyone wants to debate. These guys do that though, you know. I want to have conversations, not debate. I disagree. Debate me. What I don't like are debates that are just big fucking panel shows. You know what I mean? I am interested in humans though. Like it's frankly, it's no different than like a podcast, like where two people are talking about stuff that's interesting. But I mean, I don't mind disagreeing with someone. It's just that a lot of times religious people can't fucking handle it. Like, and they'll say slurs and all sorts of crazy shit. They can't help it because they're fucking taught to be evil and they don't realize it. It really sucks. What I would love more than anything is for Christians to be as benign and benevolent as they fucking claim to be. Instead, what I see is hate and anti-science ignorance constantly. Two religions? I love it when two religious people argue about dumb shit, for sure.
Even though I think it's different than logic. And the reason why I wanted to talk about the belief around trans rights, it's not because I want to convince you guys that being trans is not a sin. That's not going to happen, and I know that. But the reason why it's as important is that I am a trans activist, and one of the things that I face every day are children coming into my DMs begging for a reason to live, and they are in crisis. I don't know if you guys know the statistics around it. About half of all trans and non-binary youth consider attempting unaliving. I'm going to use general words to make sure that's DOS. And it's about half. And if they're Black or any of the other marginalized groups, I think it goes up to 68%. So these are horrifying statistics. And I have had parents there is a parent that she was calling me for a reason to live because her child jumped out of a moving car to get away from life. And so I'm coming to you to beg you to consider, not necessarily to change your point of view, but maybe think about how we phrase things and how that impacts individuals.
I don't think this is very effective communication, but that's whatever. Appealing to these people's morals is not going to change. What needs to change is their foundational understanding of their own ethics. This is just an appeal. It feels very liberal to me, which is interesting because I think my disagreement with her last time we talked was that she didn't want to vote at all, which I thought was also very stupid and privileged. Like, I'd rather vote against a fascist and do other shit than not have done so. Tool in the tool belt. So, yeah, I mean, I don't mind taking this tact with them if that's what you want to do. I just don't think it's going to work. What needs to work is for them to really understand that they're just wrong and they don't have to be. And that it's safe to do so. It's not like, it depends on your religious situation, but it's, not easy necessarily to leave your religion. You're really brain fucked by it. Like, you're taught that you're inherently sinful and that you need God or you go to hell. And that could be a very compelling thing to stop you from fucking questioning anything when you're told it's sinful to do so. You know what I mean? Like, if I even question God, what if I die, dude? He's going to fucking punish me. That's crazy.
Because how it works when they come into my DMs.
And being trans is natural, or anything. Like, you can't even talk to these fucking guys about gender. Ryan here is gay, but he pretends not to be. That's crazy. How can you talk to these guys about their personal identities when they don't even know themselves? How could you? How could you understand a trans person's reasoning behind, well, I personally, as a human animal on Earth, feel more comfortable in these clothes and to express this way and to like wear makeup and be addressed as this. How can you not understand how it would make you feel to be addressed properly and for people to see you as you wanted to be seen, as yourself, irrespective of how it manifests in gender? I'm a heterosexual cis guy. I've never had gender issues or sexuality issues, and that's great because, I mean, it sounds hard to deal with. I got really lucky. I'm also an atheist, and I got raised that way. I fucking dodged every bullet that you could do, and I'm white, and a man. I got lucky as fuck, dude. It could be a lot worse. And it's it's not because it's bad to be gay. It's bad to be a gay person experiencing trying to socialize with a group of people who have been brainwashed to hate you instead of love you for no reason. It's so ridiculous. I don't give a fuck who you love, just that you do. Like, everyone wants to just fucking hang out and be happy. These guys refuse to fucking allow it. And it's almost always Christians. The Republicans, 99% of them are Christians. That's the problem. It's not a joke. It always has been. They're the problem.
I'm not there to tell them what their identity is. I'm there to get them to a hospital. Anthony Hopkins has a phenomenal free program called Mental Health First Aid, where I got certification to be able to help process these. And what happens is my goal is to get them safe. And sometimes, just for your guys' context, it is sending them to their religious leader. And sometimes after we get these kids out of crisis, it may be that they related to the struggles of the transgender community, but they were in so much crisis that they latched onto that because they were trying to find their way. But it turns out they just did that to connect. And so when they get out of that crisis, they don't know about that anymore. And then sometimes it turns out that they're not trans at all. And it's not my job to find their identity. It's my job to help them live one more day. And the language that was used on the last stream, not you, Jeremiah, but a lot of the language that was being used is the language that drives these people to take their lives.
Yeah, I think Jeremiah doesn't give a fuck. This is a little self-aggrandizing, frankly. It came across as a little bit like, look at what I'm doing. I don't know. I didn't like the vibe of that wholly. I appreciate the work in general. Not really, not super into the melodrama of, I don't know, I think maybe just trying to be compelling. But it makes it sound like, look at me. I don't know. I don't want to be mean. I'm just getting odd vibes. Well, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty fucking cringe to me. I think this is where a lot of my disagreement with this person ends up coming from. Whether they know they do that or not. I mean, it is off-putting. It is off-putting. I'm not surprised. It's off-putting to me, and I'm a fucking trans ally. But it's not because of what she's saying on that. Like, I actually think I agree with everything that's being said on paper. I just don't like that we're centering ourselves in the delivery of it, which comes across as very fucking weird. We got there. I figured out what was bothering me. I would put audio issues on some of these probably. But I don't
and that's why I called in. And I know that's heavy, and I'm not here to talk about sin or anything else like that. Dude,
and then going and not just leaving them with the point you were making, but then going on to qualify and giving them ways out. I don't know, man. I just don't think this is an effective way to communicate to people. You keep giving them off ramps from the responsibility of ethic that you're trying to tell them that they have. It doesn't make sense to try to make your point and then hedge so that they fucking don't freak out.
You know, if that helps people and that helps them find their way.
It really, I don't want to harp on this. It sounds like we're really trying to maintain these two little guys' behavior and emotions. And I hate deferring to that. I hate that.
Not going to stand in the way of that. I just want them to live one more day so that if that is a conversation they need, that they can have that with someone like you.
Such a hero.
I appreciate your heart in this. I really do. And we don't want people jumping off buildings any more than anybody else. I would say the only thing is you can look at statistics two ways. You mentioned 50% of these, and correct me if I'm wrong, you said 50% of the people who are transgender or homosexual or all these things have thoughts about committing suicide. Is that correct?
It's a little bit different. It is, I believe it's 39% for non-transgendered youth, and it jumps to half, but those numbers increase when you include other marginalized groups.
Okay, so stats can be looked at several different ways. Have you ever seen the bomber planes that would come back from war statistic, where they would say the
doesn't understand survivorship bias thing?
bullet damage is all on the wings and tail.
What?
Therefore, we should armor up the wings and tail, right? Because that's where they're shooting.
What?
Have you heard that statistic?
That is not what that survivorship bias isn't what's being explored with this statistic whatsoever. I'm sure Atomic Crouton will mention that, right? Like, he's just so dumb.
In that story?
I have, and let me bring some. I brought up statistics. I brought up statistics
Let
last
me
time.
bring it up
I know. I
every-
want to give you some context on my background, and then you're good to go.
On my background, I don't. You know what I mean?
You have a chance to speak, so I can tell everybody else real quick.
Okay.
And then we'll get into what I'm trying to say, and then we'll get back to you, just so we're all respectful and we all have our turns. So
you know what I mean? Like, but what about my background? It's like, do you notice you do this? I don't know if it's like I have to let you know that I know what I'm talking about. Like, is it just compulsion? Or is it also like I want attention and fucking kudos for this thing? It's a virtue signal, or it's like a fucking really annoying ploy for like validation that I do not like. This is definitely what has rubbed me the wrong way every time. I don't know if she's aware that she does this. Maybe she is. Like, that is a problem that I don't like. They don't know. They don't respect fucking gender science or the fuck. Yeah, they don't care. They don't care. Not only is it useless, but it's the continued urge to center oneself that is really annoying.
what I'm getting at is there's a statistic out there where these planes would return back from war, and they would have damage on the wings and the tail, and they'd say, let's armor up the wings and tail. But what they didn't consider is the planes
That's not what they said.
Weren't making it back. We're getting bullets in like the fuselage and the engine and all the important stuff. So they did the opposite. So my concern, my true honest concern, I'm not just trying to fight or cause anything bad, but my true honest concern why we don't waver on what we say is because what we see is 30% of other youth, or whatever stat you said, have problems with suicide. That's really big. But it jumps to a bigger number when you bring in trans. So
due to their social treatment.
But what we believe and what we say is being trans confuses things more and cause more problems, and accepting it.
Blame Iron Gullet, but the ding knowers. The ding knowers were good. Dude, I think this is viable also. I think once they start getting into the fucking yelling matches, it will get worse. And they say they have a worse guy on here. I actually believe you, but for the first half hour, you lied. You lied to them. But look at these hell knowers raking it in. Raking it the fuck in, dude. I filled out half a card. All right, hold on. Let me look. We'll run a mock trial. Bang. One more. Ooh, tinfoil. EP, rage quit, stereotype, fantasize about violence, sexual harassment, edgy, no, for the love of God, maybe. Illiterate, screams, alcoholic, yelling, slob, so yeah. Virtue signal, sad quit, hacking and coughing, fuck off. Piss break, upset by something reasonable, whoa, self-own, watches an ad, boomer. I'm going to do it again. I think we need a more specialized card. I love this, for the record. I just think we need... Hold on. Audio issues. To be specific, he actually might have said that. Pretends fuck, hack, coffee, stereotype, boring, misunderstands, joker laugh, fuck off, crazy hypothetical. He didn't say it again. Sings, yelling, sexual harassment, pedo, EP, self-own, just makes shit up, virtue signal, illiterate. Segment alpha, drunk, doth protest too much, mommy issues, egg behavior could work. So okay. We're not. One more time, mommy issues. I don't think it happened. Rent free. I don't even know what that would be, to be specific. Misogyny. Don't think so. Virtue signal, tail tug, pedal, slur. It's up here. Just make sure it up. Slow. Whoa. Yelling walrus again. Slow brain. Cell phone. Coors Mountain, right wing. Oh god, dumb as shit. No, doesn't listen. Hacking and coughing. Blah blah. Okay, so I think we need to get rid of the whoa. No. Blah blah blah. Get rid of them. Get them off the hell card. Get them out. I think rent free. Rent free could be like more like we're all sinners. I think this is rent free for something else. Misogyny. Well, I believe that this has got more stuff going on. I just think blah blah blah. No. Whoa. Unless one of them has a tick for it, could go. Those are pretty specific. Walrus is pretty specific as well. But I mean, this Ryan guy seems walrus adjacent. He could do it. This guy could definitely make a noise. They could definitely yawn also. I don't know what they got going on. Slob could be interesting. I mean, I would click. I mean, yeah, maybe actually. You know, I don't know what's going on here. You have to make your bed, but it looks crazy in here. It looks like, you know. No, I think this counts. Queen Dave. I don't. This could just be for Ryan. I don't know. if he comes across as particularly gay. We're like, dude, there it is. There he is. There's the guy in there. I mean, he did come across. The more he talked, the more I was like, oh yeah, this guy. I mean, probably. We can get rid of watch as an ad, rat's ass, jackass, stuff like that. Coors Mountain, I don't even know what that would be. Like if one of them cracks open a cold one. The lesbians to be so I think there are versions of this card where it is viable, for sure. In fact, I think this one also might still be. We need to tinker with it, but we got an hour left. I like this a lot. I'd watch more of these. I think this is fun. I think this is a good bingo. I agree with you in theory. We need a prototype. That's what we need. We need a prototype. The thing is, it can't always get a bingo, which is what we have with the dingo and the Gordo. And it has to be right there. So, I mean, it's pretty good. We've been training them to Dave for us. That's amazing and not necessary. It's an interesting question. Like, you mean gender-wise? Like, are you talking about gender fluidity? Feels better than he or she. I think it's nice to ask genuine questions. I think that's good. Asura, you seem, maybe a little cringe, edgy still, but that's okay. At times, but you seem curious, and that's good. I appreciate that. It's all right. It gets insane. It's all right, dude. It's okay. Should yelling still be the center? I don't know. I think maybe sin should be the center. I think sin should be the free space. You don't even have to change the fucking thing. You just say sin. And then instead of screams, you could say, we're all sinners. And then it would be fine. Oh, I didn't put it in bingo. But, you know what I mean? Like, you could just change some of this shit to just the normal shit that they're going to regurgitate nonstop. NPC dialogue tree stays, obviously. I think bitch still might be a thing. Do these guys swear? Change out the day specifics for Christian apologetics, and we got it. Dude, if you give me a prototype to play or we change this around next time, I mean, this could be fun. I love wandering around to all the different specimens and having bingos for them. Swearing isn't allowed. Okay, so we need something other than the swear words, like fuck off. You're going to tell my mom to watch your stream and say you are a pastor? Oh, wow. So you don't think your mom is okay? What is more interesting to me? That is funny. You could totally do what you want. But what I think is interesting would be to have you know, she's not deconstructing at all or interested in that. But if you could talk to her and at the same time, that would be amazing. I love listening to people talk to their parents about deconstructing. That's a good time. Fascinating. Because there's usually a little bit more respect, hopefully, between parent and child than they would give a fucking stranger, because they would just scream, but they might. I mean, maybe do your comfort. I don't know what you got going on. She beat your ass or something? I don't know. She shuts me down immediately. Wow. Pastor Jake. Hey, if you want to call me Pastor Jake, that's fine. Yeah, I'll run a youth group. The youth group is, hey man, it's fine to be who you are. Isn't that so terrible? I'm sinful. Whoever you are, that's pretty okay. I'm sure you think that there are probably things to self-improve on. That's great. But whoever you inherently are is fine. Father Jake, that's fine. I mean, Daddy Jake has been having... Father Jake is also a thing. That's good. I like that. I like that just fine. Wait, are you guys in a mega church? I have some mega churchers every once in a while. $4,000 suit for the Lord? Is this fucking Creflo Dollar, bro? Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays? Alright, dog. Hear me out. We save your mom, and she converts that kind of fucking effort into tier 3 subscriptions for your boy. Huh? Huh? Tier 3 subscriptions and charitable work as well. Like, she doesn't even have to give me even close to that. I don't want 10%. I just want like a monthly subscription. That's all I'm chilling for. And then use the rest of that effort to like enrich your guys' lives and also like give to charity and shit. Help people. There are people in your community right now that need like well-being. Like mutual aid, I guess. They need your mutual aid. Tier 3 subs all around. From Asura's religious mom. Alright. I think we... you know what? We're leaving off on a positive note. I appreciate you guys. Can you believe... I expected shitters tonight, and I actually had a few new people come in that are pretty great. Appreciate that. Dude, you wouldn't be the first person to play me loud for someone else to overhear as a catalyst for just triggering them or having a conversation. That's funny. That's not the first time I've heard that. That's good. All right. I appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful night. Is tomorrow Space Communism Day? Tomorrow's Space Communism Day! And then it's Friday. Yeah. I mean, that's fine with the crouton thing. I just think, like, I mean, that specific tick has been done many times, and that's probably why we don't get along. It's okay. I don't need to. She can do it. I appreciate her work otherwise, then. It's good stuff. All right. I love your faces. Have a good night.